Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Gimmick, your first of two episodes this weekend because it is WrestleMania. I am the Canadian Nightmare, Tresnell, and I'm joined by
Right,
here.
what we do. You're going for David first, but I was between we tell stories or what we do, but I went with what we do.
It's what we do. Yeah, it's. I don't think we're seeing any Triple H or pressers tonight, so we'll see there. And David, you said you're here for the page pop, which you got
Uh,
tonight. So
I'm just here for the page pop. It was pretty much downhill after that.
yeah, it's going to be an interesting conversation. So tonight we got a pretty loaded show. Tomorrow will be a little smaller, but we'll be back for night two right after. Yeah, we're going to talk about all the WrestleMania stuff. Also, it's so we're gonna get definitely Dave's and SBub's thoughts on the Pat stuff, but it's so curious where this is all gonna go now after the main event. So there's a lot to talk about there, and then after the fact, we're gonna hear from SBub Selects. He's been watching a bunch of stuff WrestleMania weekend, so he's gonna give some
I don't know if I should
highlights.
say that for
Oh, you want to say
today
it till
or
tomorrow?
because I feel like
We can
tomorrow
punt it to
should be
tomorrow.
shorter. Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
put it tomorrow. No pun intended. So on that size, then we'll also briefly touch on Dynasty and the AEW title change with Darby and MJF because that's also been a point of contention, and we haven't had an episode since then. So there's just been lots of stuff happening the last 2 weeks, which is always a good thing. So, David, I'm gonna throw to you. How was WrestleMania night one for you on the whole?
On the whole, I will say that I am disappointed. I can only give this show a maximum of a 3.25 right
Okay.
now. There were some good matches, but I don't think in any match they really just stuck the landing on any of them. And the final match just it trudged along way too much. I mean, the page pop was great. It kind of telegraphed all that. I mean, it sucks that we found out, 36
Yeah.
hours beforehand about this. I think the pop would have been even more had we not. But, outside of that, every other match just seemed like someone was in the ref's ear, like, all right, we got to go home. We got to get to the finish. And
Show that Hulk Hogan documentary trailer again. Let's go.
matches just wrapped up out of nowhere. So, I mean, other than that,
To your point, I don't have that on the last two, but the match run times tonight were 7 minutes for the opener, 14 for Jacob and Drew. The women's four-way is 9 minutes. Becky and AJ was 8 minutes, and Gunther and Seth was 15. I'll find the last two, but still, those are some. That's three matches under 10 minutes, which is crazy. I know entrances, of course, play in that, right? So that brings up a lot in WrestleMania. WrestleMania, there's always bigger entrances, so that's going to play into it. But it is kind of crazy that there's three of these, especially a few, like even the four-way. It's like you could go in a little longer with all those ladies. But yeah, definitely, at least for those first few matches, short on the run time. I feel like, what do we think? Maybe Randy and Cody felt
Randy
like
was
an
probably,
hour
once the
like
bell rang, probably like
22,
25 minutes.
Yeah.
Something
Felt like an
Yeah.
Iron Man match. That's what it
Yeah.
felt like. And then
Because I
think
feel like it started at like pretty much 9:30. I feel like I saw checked the clock and it was like at that time. So
and I feel like Stephanie and Liv was like
it was like
12,
7
15
minutes or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Really? It was just that entrance. What is? Yeah, that's interesting. All right, Dave, you got anything else to say before I throw it to SBubs?
yeah, no, like I said, right now it's sitting at a 3.25. I think the best start to finish match was the Jacob Fatu Drew McIntyre match. Like that's the only one that I can say start to finish did not have any parts of it that I just felt like I don't know what you guys were doing with this. Every other match I felt like either too quick on the finish or I didn't understand the pacing. And that is sad to say for this being night one and you're trying to again bring in this new audience.
Man, on the after show, they showed Cody walking away from the punt. Come on now. Can he not just sell it for at least, even if let's say this doesn't write him off, can he not just sell it for like a night, But like at least put some drama into that. But yeah, I suppose, what did you think about night one for WrestleMania 42 or again, just WrestleMania Vegas? Because they've dropped the numbers. But what do you think about this year's night one?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty much on the same train as David, where all the matches were like kind of fine to me. Like there wasn't any that were like outright like bad. Like to me, I'm like
Yeah.
trying to mentally compare it to like last year, because last year I feel like a lot of the matches were just kind of like boring or but the difference is for me like that main event of like Roman, Punk, and Seth was like a 5-star match.
Big
So that's what
time
I
delivered.
remember from that
Yeah.
match. But then there's also like to me like the lowest of that is like New Day versus War Raiders, which is
Yeah.
like
And
that
even
was
night
just
one
like a
last year had
dead.
like LA Knight and Jacob, right? Night
Yeah,
one,
that was
yeah, and that
also
was like a
someone that
sleeper
like
hit.
hyped up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to compare it. So it's hard to say like which one I liked more because I feel like there's lows and highs on both of them. So I'd probably just end up in the same range as David of like a 3.25 or like probably in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think tonight for almost everything. I don't know how much debate there'll be. There always is, so we'll find something. But I think maybe what we will debate on and stuff that's going to be the future booking and whatnot. But I'm right there with you guys. I feel like with the comparison you're making S-Bubs to last year, I feel like last year the matches were worse, but this year there was like less excitement with the actual within the matches, whether that be the finishes. And I agree, David. Lots of finishers that and the big point we talked about. I'll bring up cold face, cold face. Someone can take cold face, but Kyle in our Discord said one of the first WrestleManias where I didn't have FOMO, and I've been watching for over 20 years. Wow, and that's what was surprising to me, that it just, because I know people last year felt like it had the special feel, but the matches were off and they just weren't clicking with night one, right? And then, like as I was mentioned, that triple threat brought it back. It's like, oh, we feel like this is WrestleMania, where this doesn't even feel like like this feels more like a in the middle, like a Money in the Bank almost. Like it's just the fact that I'm fine with a heel going over for the interference, but we don't need them in multiple matches back to back. We'll get into that. It just was a lot of flat finishes. And yeah, like obviously a big point of contention where we're going to start the show is the main event, because that's the most thing we'll probably talk about the longest. But that thing, man, was crazy. It was crazy to see, crazy to watch, because I'd have to think about it, and maybe I'll return back to it, but I can't remember the last main event that's been like that. There's been Rocky WrestleManias like last year, night one, but then the main event delivers. It's been a while. I'm going to pull them all up because I feel like they've really delivered on that, but I feel like the pacing was off because the matches were so slow, and even stuff like Cena, like he didn't do one backstage segment with anybody. Like he's there like do, and I don't even like love that stuff, but just it felt very monotonous of just match, 5 minutes ads, match. There was the grandeur was gone, the kind of travesty thing, or the majesty, not the travesty. There was a travesty in that main event, but it did not feel like Mania. Where last year, like I said, it felt like Mania, but like, oh, this is maybe a bad one or a disappointing one. And then, like I said, LA Knight and Jacob came up and like, okay, that was good. In the main event, okay, we're back up. And then night two was better. Obviously, Travis Scott was standing. Night two was much better, right? And it had that feel. So I'm hoping tomorrow can have that. I think it can. I think it all depends on what happens with that Punk and Roman match as well. I do hope any talk of you got to wait till Sunday or Pat being like, we'll talk about the main event.
The stipulation technically for this match was that if Randy lost, Pat would never be seen in WWE ever again. And then immediately I saw in the comments, it's like Roman is debuting like the TKO faction tomorrow night, and like Pat's returning.
Yeah, and that's where luckily with him being a heel, I think he can always just go, I was just lying. Like I'm not actually doing that, right? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they need right now. Just all like there's some things that are still good with the product right now, but they definitely need like a reshuffle. And maybe we'll talk about like Randy RKOing Pat. Maybe my hope is like they do some stuff here, and then the Raw and the SmackDowns after.
Yeah,
they bring up some
people,
NXT
like
people.
they used WrestleMania as like, and literally it ended like a go home show with Randy holding up the title. So people are like, they used WrestleMania as like, this is like the pivot match, and then like the actual Cody Randy match is gonna happen later on.
Yeah, so it's just there's just
like
a
they
lot
just use the main event to like write off like the Pat and Jelly Roll stuff, even though like they spent so much time on it, but they used it in the main event.
Which is funny because we talked about that in the Discord, right? We said, oh, they should. And we all agreed that even though it doesn't make sense, and even the Cena thing, right? The Cena thing at SummerSlam was better for him just to go, hey, I fucked up. I was a bad guy. I don't want to be that anymore. Let's do this. And they had this amazing match, right? I think they're just going to go with, hey, Randy just wants to be a bad guy. And we'll see. Because maybe it was just TKO saying, hey, let's have Pat in here for WrestleMania season. But David, I'll start with you. What do you think about the main event? And obviously, because we haven't heard from you guys on the Pat McAfee thing, we're in a weird road where obviously he came in, he was the guy on the phone, turned on Cody, talking about the business, attitude era, all this stuff. He's leading Randy over the charge, but then tonight he comes in as referee. which was very strange. He wouldn't fast count, like it's just a heel. He gave like the slowest 3 count, but that's fine. Maybe that's part of the story where Randy attacks him. But yeah, and then Randy attacks him. He RKO's him, but then Randy Orton goes on to lose. But then he also punts Cody Rhodes, which I thought, oh, maybe they're going to vacate the title. Cody gets some time off. Well, he's walking around the post show, so I really don't know what's happening. But Dave, what were your thoughts on the main event? We're going to start there as the hot button issue, obviously. So
Yeah, I am confused about the main event. I felt like it times often too slow at times.
we might a lot.
And outside,
David, we keep losing
yeah.
you. We lost you a couple times.
all right, you got me back now.
Yeah, you're back
Yeah,
now.
that's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
now.
Okay. I was saying that I just felt like it was very slow, too slow for my liking. Outside of that, I didn't understand the pacing, and I do have questions about Friday night and the contract that was signed and what's going to follow. Like they didn't even address that. Like that just completely went
Yeah.
away. So is there an extra stipulation outside of the whole McAfee leaving WWE, or are we just like forgetting all of that? I'm so confused by this. But yeah, this was an overly slow pace match, and I don't know if that had something to do with Randy's back hurting. They had to stretch it out again. This match went almost 23 minutes compared to the only other match that went that far was Gunther and Seth Rollins, which is 15:45. It was slow for no reason, in my opinion. And then that ending with them, yeah, you had the ending. Cool, he gets the pin, but then Randy continues to attack him and makes him bleed. This felt like you're automatically setting up to the next thing. And I don't think WrestleMania should be the setup to Backlash. I think, this should be the big show.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because I feel like because also we got that night one last year with Seth doing the turn and Paul doing the turn and that set up stuff. But that was the idea to
But
set
I
up
feel
a
like
whole
that's different.
years
like,
worth of
that,
story.
Like,
Yeah, it's like this is, and obviously everything fell apart with the vision. But like in an ideal world, it's like that's going to set up the next calendar year, right? Where even as it sets up SummerSlam, I just like in general, what is the temperature on people wanting to see this match, especially after this match? Because maybe Randy's hurt, but this reminded me of 2 matches. And obviously the meme one is Triple H and Randy Orton WrestleMania 25. But it's very much like that, where Randy Orton is the heel, but everyone at WrestleMania 25 wanted him to win. And they go and wrestle this very kind of slow, boring, monotonous type of match. And Triple H wins. And then the next month Randy does win. So we'll see what happens. But it reminded me a lot of that of when Randy lost. I was like, okay, and that's where I am curious. At first, when he lost, I was like, is this back injury more bad than we are let on? But then when he punted it in after, I'm like, okay, well, they're still setting stuff up. So I think they just don't want to rock with this story right now with the Pat stuff. And that, it is for the best if it's just like, let's forget this. Let's get a blood feud going. Sure. But then it also reminded me of, and I mentioned this in the Discord already, is Randy and Cena from Rumble 2015. They had a stinker, and it was like, let's say if the match is 20 minutes, the first 15 minutes was this, where it was crowd was dead. No one wanted to see it. But then they started spamming each other's finishers and signature moves, and people loved it. And last 5 minutes they're popping. And which was weird is they did that, and then they went outside a brawl, and the crowd was dead. And I don't know what it is. I think it is a bit of, they just don't know what to do, right? Because it is this thing of like, even with before the Travis Scott happened, like last year when Travis Scott happened, that was at the very end. We still thought Cena was going to be, he's like Cena, Rock, like that whole thing, like this thing's going to go down. So it's like people were, I want to see this like NWO WWE with Cena and Rock, like let's see what happens. And then after it's like, we're not getting that. Where right now no one really wants to see Randy and Pat, right? So it's like people are cheering for Randy, but they're not super passionate. And then they are booing Cody, but it wasn't like last year where he was getting booed at the fucking building. Like there's times where they booed where he'd hit a move and stuff, but it wasn't like, and even then they popped when he got the win. They were cheering. They popped for other things when he hit RKO. So it wasn't like the heat he had last year. So it just felt like the match wasn't good. It's weird. They have Randy as the heel and they're like telling us about this back injury and Cody's like working the back. And it's like, I think they were thinking they were going to get like a Cena Triple H WrestleMania 22 reaction where everyone hated Cena so much. If Triple H would do a hip toss, the crowd would pop like it was Hulk Hogan or like Randy Savage coming back, like winning the title. It was like because people want him to lose, but it wasn't. People didn't hate Cody that much for it to happen, so that's what it felt like.
It was like I forget if I said it in the Discord yesterday, but my thought was like they hate Pat, they definitely love Randy, and they're like okay on Cody.
Yeah, because it's just like because again, it's that thing of like sure we might want Randy to win, but then if he wins, does that get us like 6 months of Pat McAfee, whatever promos, right? And even then too, like I talked about the first one on Trash Toy, but that second one he did with Cody and about like eating Triple H's ass and all that stuff, the crowd like popped a little, but like
because it just went on for so long. It went on for like 30 minutes,
and the crowd was just like they didn't give a shit, right? And this match, there was multiple times where it was quiet. It was super quiet, and that's why I'm going to throw it at S-Buzz. When I throw S-Buzz, I'm going to pull up like the past 10 years. I can't remember the last main event that was like this. Usually the main events have been hot. Like even Brock and Roman 3 was hotter than this, which shouldn't have been.
Because if you look at that one's also like, well, because it's a Brock match, it's like 12 minutes long or something.
Yes,
like
and
that.
It's
so
Roman bloodline too, right?
He's like,
he's hyped up now because it's bloodline Roman, so he got like a buffer there. But yes, Bubs, what do you make of all this stuff going on in Randy Cody? Oh, we lost you for a second as well. You had like and then the mic went away. So I'm not sure if some of your headphones or whatnot. But I'm gonna pull up because I'm trying to think. Because what do we get last year?
I was about to say I can't think of anything since maybe Roman versus Triple H. Like that's
a long time. And I was there live, and that sucked because that didn't even have like the finisher swap cheers. It was just dead. It was dead the whole time, you know. So I will pull up a list here. Let's see. Okay, so God, man! Now that there's so many WrestleManias, when you pull up the main events, it's like there's. I'm just trying to get the last. Okay, so well, see, no, it's tough. Almost all those Roman matches because Roman and Taker wasn't good, right? So you're right where you had because Roman and Brock won in 31. That was a great main event, and then you got Roman and Triple H. That wasn't good. Roman and Taker wasn't good because Taker was like not ready for it. And then Roman and Brock 2 was also not good. So it's all these Roman matches. So I'm trying to see in like what comes after. We can hear you now, and you sound better now. All right, go ahead, Espos. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I was gonna say like it definitely reminded me of like the previous match they had, like the King of the Ring match. Because in that one, Cody was also kind of working heel like a little bit because the crowd loved Randy. But it was definitely not like the same reaction here because it was like it was all very confusing. It's like, do you want like they love Randy, but they also don't want him to win. Like they want to win, but they don't want to win because they don't want more Pat. So it's just like made it very confusing. I think literally for the crowd to decide like if they even want to cheer for like Randy winning. And Cody was definitely like leaning heel, especially with like Randy and the whole back injury where
and the low blow. He did a full heel face look to the crowd, even though it's like
and he like eye poked Randy too, like not in like a counter way, but like when the ref was like checking on him or something.
And that's a tough thing too, because I know David, you asked in the chat about the double turn, but it's like that's a tough thing because like Randy's also trying to cheat. So it's not like, okay, Randy's been a dick up at this point, but he's just wrestling a match and Cody's being underhanded. It's like they attacked him before the match started. Randy tried to kick him in the nuts first. So it's like, because then he's damned if he's do, damned if he's don't, right? Because I hated last year when Cena had Cody had the title and he went to go hit Cena. And he's like, no, please, Cody. And Cody's like, okay, I can't do it in front of my kids. So, and everybody hated that, right? So this year, if they're like the crowd when they boo, and it's fine, you know, Daniel Bryan quote, fickle people, but it's just like if they boo, they kick him in the nuts. It's like from a character perspective, he's completely allowed to. He's not even cheating. The guy tried to do it first, so it's just, and that's where the match is messy, right? Because they made it almost look like Cody was like, trying to wrestle heel, but he's not a heel. He's just he's just responding to people attacking him. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it was just very weird. I will say, I think like the actual finish of the match was like good, like with Randy RKOing Pat and then like Cody going for him right away. Like it's like the thing I said like a few weeks ago of like the Roman Triple H match. Like the biggest pop was like Roman spearing Stephanie, and then they just go for like 15 more minutes. I feel like this was like like the biggest pop was gonna be Pat getting RKO'd. So I feel like they ended it there at least is the positive I can give it.
Yeah, and I think where I land on for me for WrestleMania main events, it's definitely for me the 34 one. I now threaten because David, you said the Triple H one with Roman. I would have to go back and watch the Triple H Roman and then Brock and Roman 2. I will never do that, so I'm just gonna go off of vibes.
just hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically, I'm gonna go off vibes. So I remember the Lesnar and Roman one. It sucked, and then Brock just won, and it was quiet. But still, 34. Since then, it's like Ronda, Becky, Charlotte. That was great. And also, these are the COVID matches, right? So Drew and Brock, whatever. Undertaker, AJ, whatever. But still, fun for what they were. Sasha and Belair was great for main event. Roman, Bryan, and Edge. I love that fucking match. Austin and Owens. Roman and Brock. And again, like Espub said, there was like that was heated up. It was quicker, and it was Bloodline Roman. So he was rolling, right? The tag titles was Sammy and Owen versus the Usos. That was hot. Roman and Cody won. And then Brock and Roman, Cody Seth, and then Roman Cody, Roman Punk Rollins, and Cody and Cena. I'd still say was hot though the whole time, right? Like,
well, people like if you go back and watch, and I haven't fully watched it, but I watched
hypothetically,
clips, the crowd is like crazy hot for that match. Like up until Travis Scott comes out.
Yeah, he killed the territory there.
When Cena is doing like the slow like 5 moves of doom, like the crowd is into it.
Yeah, and that's the thing where I haven't seen it in a long time. And that's what was so I got psyched out when Cody walked down. He didn't look happy. He's hugging Liberty, which is always a bad sign for him.
Losing for sure.
Yeah, and which I thought, and the only thing that it's tough though, right? Because I was talking about all the heels winning, and then Randy winning wouldn't have been a heel, but it's just I don't know. I'm very curious how they follow this up, but I think it left no one for the better. They should just leave it alone, and then at Backlash, what they should do is a last man standing or Extreme Rules. They should let them go. I said this before. They should have done it more brawly, but that's what they should do is nothing with Pat. And Pat should he'll be back, of course, at some point, but he should go away and not be in the story and just go away for a while. I hope it's just, okay, yeah. TKO, we brought Pat in for the story. Maybe it sold some tickets. Maybe we didn't. I don't believe they moved like nearly 5,000 tickets in 24 hours in like just the right amount. So like, okay. And even if it did, cool, fine. And we move on. But even then I don't know what they're going to do with Randy and Cody. And this does not make me want to see another Randy Cody match. Like and I think I liked the King of the Ring one more, but this one needed something else. And we only got the 2 headlocks. So that was fine. But, yeah, obviously he got punted out. So he won and he got punted after. David, what do you think the trajectory is now for this feud? Does Cody go away for a little bit, even though he's walking around? Do we get a rematch right away? What happens?
I think we're going to get continuation of it. We've heard stories of Randy and Pat versus Jelly Roll and Cody at Backlash. I'm hoping
they can't run that anymore, right? There's no way.
I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that everything is settled after this, but I could see them keeping Cody around simply for the fact that, man's got a movie to promote, and they're not going to want to miss out on that promotion.
Well, that's not until fall, though, isn't it? Though.
Yeah, but they're promoting it now. They're giving special first looks. So. The new trailer is hot. Like they gotta strike with that.
So, do we get a situation where the SmackDown after Randy just says, "I was hot in the moment" because you didn't do a fast recount?
And the exact same. Oh, you mean with Pat?
With Pat, yeah. No, not the Cody thing. No, he says to Pat I RKO'd you, but you wanted to old me out, and he's erratic. But let's get back on the same page. But then again, at that point, then you should just had Randy win, because then what? Because that means eventually we're gonna get to Randy and Pat winning the title. I'd rather him win it now, and let's get through this, and then we'll get on the other side of SummerSlam. Because now it's like, is there a risk of this going to SummerSlam and it's Randy and Cody 3 or whatever, and Randy wins there? Oh my God!
It's got to be Pat coming back as the sniveling, give me another chance, let's team together. Well, that's how it's going to be. It's not going to be I lost my cool on you. It's going to be Pat's going to be the sniveling heel who's just trying to get back in his good graces.
I suppose. What do you see happening?
I feel like it could happen. Maybe not with Pat involved the whole time, but I definitely feel like it could be like Cody and Randy, like all the way up to SummerSlam.
Oh God,
That's a long road, man. That's a long road.
I'm just gonna be very curious what happens in the next few months, right? Because Nick Khan did that interview of like, we don't pay attention to online people. It's about the revenue, the sales, all this type of stuff. I just don't know because even the Travis Scott thing, right? With like, I think for wrestling fans, that for me is the worst thing in WrestleMania. But that for wrestling fans is tough, right? I could see if you are a general audience watching WrestleMania, and if you even like Travis Scott, think it's kind of funny. You got Cena and Travis Scott, and like Espo said, the match was hot, so it's still that idea of like, oh, you're watching a fun back and forth. There's a moment with celebrity. Cena breaks 17. Like, there's all this stuff to it, right?
People like liking that ending, like just because of Cena winning, like
Yes.
not really like it's like, well, Travis Scott was there, but Cena got 17, so I liked it.
Where this is just it's a bad match with a dead crowd and just kind of a lame duck finish. Like, of course they pop for the punt, but it's just like, I just don't know. And even with night one last year, I think definitely you leave like that is definitely, Punk says he doesn't do cinema. That's a cinema match with Heyman in the chair, but that's good stuff. That all worked, right? That leaves
but
you
that
night one.
I feel like that was like the last, like that was pretty much just the ending of the match when Heyman gets
I agree,
involved.
but that at least leaves you, if you're, to me, a general audience, if you like that match at all and that those endings happen, you might be curious to tune in Raw or SmackDown to see the follow, right? Like, okay, what's going to happen? Even the punt, like, I know it might be on some TikToks for people seeing 09 Orton, but it's not like I gotta tune in to see what's next. So I am curious what's gonna happen. That, like, again, they did sell more tickets with the discounts, but as they showed last year, and again, they're in Vegas, so that's the tough thing. And even then, we're not really gonna know WrestleMania season till like 44 because they're in Saudi next year, so it's not going to be a good read for us either. It's going to be all these events happening, but the whole Vegas had 16,000 last year and 8,000. That's what's going to happen because eventually they will. All companies, we just talked about this the whole year with Tony Khan, right? We just shared in our Discord about the whole MJF and Jeff Jarrett going to have a fucking match at all in, and whether it was him or somebody eventually went like, hey, we can't do this, right? And there's going to be a point where WWE, something will happen and they go, we can't do this. Now, for me, it's always a question of like, is Levesque going to survive with this? I don't know. I'm very curious what's going to happen because Nick Khan will be like, oh, we don't pay attention to any of that. But then the whole story is about cage match and, online fans.
Nick Khan is like, I don't think he watches the shows at all. But
no.
I think when he
watches the big events.
To the shows that he goes to and is there, that's when he like realizes something is up and then does something. like Obafemi and Javon getting called up just like immediate, like Saturday night's main event happened. I think he was there. He saw these guys. He's like, why aren't these guys on the big shows, huh?
That makes sense.
You gotta get these guys up here.
Yeah.
And I feel like literally like that Cody Punk segment, I feel he could have been there and been like, why are these guys like, why are they getting booed or something? We need to get Pat out of here now. Like, I don't like how this is going. So I feel like he literally like he shows up to these shows and he's like, "What's going on around here? I need to make some changes." I feel like that's literally his mindset,
which is not great, but it's also not as bad as Vince's, where that would happen weekly and he would tear up scripts like multiple times. So you can work with that. So it's going to be a very interesting little bit. Of course, I see on my timeline Tony Khan, of course, tweeting where the best wrestlers. So, like, he's trying his best. So like that's what, like it's going to be. I'm just fascinated by what they do in the next little bit because it definitely feels like they're swinging in the wrong pendulum. But as we talk about all the time, that wrestling goes in cycles, right? Again, 2019, terrible year. A few years later, they're putting on fucking Endgame, WrestleMania 40, greatest night of professional wrestling, right? Like I don't think it's like, oh yeah, the ground's falling. It's just like some of these things aren't working. That's what I hope is Raw and SmackDown are more of a reset and things kind of swap up and change up, or it could if it is still fucking like
or you're getting like Uncle Howdy versus Solo Part 7 on SmackDown.
I can't believe they had them win the feud. They had the Wyatts lose the fucking feud. I can't believe the Wyatts lost that feud. And I still got the notification like Solo pins Uncle Howdy. I'm like, are you kidding? They can't even win the feud that's about their lantern. Like, my God. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Is there anything on the main event or the future of these guys before we continue on?
I will say I liked Cody's entrance.
Yeah,
like,
Cody's entrance was bomb. Just
I was
absolutely.
I couldn't tell at first, like before, like the graphics showed up and there was just like the things on stage. I thought it was going to be more of like an Iron Man, like Hall of Armor type thing, but it was definitely meant to be more like a Batcave. But I thought it was cool. and Stardust, big pop for Stardust.
Yeah, that's good. One of the biggest pops of the night for Cody there. So, yeah, so we'll talk about it in the future. Obviously, you'll see what happens at Backlash. Please do not have that.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, that and yeah, let's just see. I just hope because I can't remember who tweeted. Oh, it was Jimmy Corderas who tweeted out because that rumor came out. He's like, "This is stupid. Like, there's no way this is happening." And Dave Meltzer just did like, "Oh, you'll regret this tweet." So that's the only thing that scares me
About
about
what? Like
the
like
tag
that?
match happening, like the Jelly Roll and whatever match. And
But
Meltzer
when
was
was
like,
that? Like today or?
"No, that was like last week." But still,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just
But I
worried.
feel like that could be like a plans change. Like it like
I
to
hope.
me this Cody ending like this
Something's
can't have
up.
been, like the ending of like the whole time.
Yeah, like to me, what you do. Oh
What
my
we
God!
do.
Ric Flair calls Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes one of the greatest matches he's seen in the last few years. Brother, you gotta stop watching some wrestling. It's just like he said that about Roman this week too, right?
He's trying to get that deal back with Roots of Fighting. He's like, let me.
It's 100%. He said the Roman like ESPN Take One interview was like one of the best interviews he's ever seen from a wrestler of this generation. It's like fun. Like Roman didn't give a bad interview, but it's like fine stuff. But yeah, so we'll see. To me, what the path is, if everyone's okay, you do Backlash, you put Randy and Orton in a big weapons gimmick match, blow it off, and move along from there. Draft, separate them. Even if you want to keep Randy heel, separate them. And even then, don't even make Randy heel. Just make him an 09 Randy and pop the crowd with RKOs and punts and just do that. You know, like that's my recommendation is steel cage, inferno match, something, and then they just go their separate ways. That's it. Let's start off with the beginning of the night. We'll work our way back. The 6-man tag. As I said in the Discord to me, we got a house show match just so I Show Speed could jump off a turnbuckle. I'll for sure fail this on my drop kick. It's definitely maybe the worst WrestleMania opening of all time. I don't even think that's hyperbolic. I'd have to look, but like I know there's 40 or whatever, or now we're at 40 and then some because they do the night twos. But I don't know, man. This, and it wasn't even that fun. Even the match, I don't think was that entertaining or something. I thought it was gonna be crazy gimmicked up and lots of good moments. 7 minutes and then just speed jump. So not good, not a good way to start. And that's how I knew we were in for a bad omen, but it delivered. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I feel like in this whole social media engagement era that they're in, I even expected more out of that. Like, I kind of expected the heel team to win just for that engagement, but yeah, it looks like all of this was built just so it could have the moment of I Show Speed jumping off. It was like nothing about this match was good or fun or anything like that. Outside of the opening up with the stereo super kicks, I was like, okay, cool way to open up. After that, this to me did not do anything to bring in a general audience or prompt a general audience to buy your show. For this being part of the free aspect of the show or the ESPN exclusive access of the show, like me and my 9-year-old watched it together. He ended up staying for the show, but he stayed for the show because I already have ESPN Unlimited. Like, had I not, kid would have got up, walked upstairs. Like, all right, I saw what I have to see. I'm done. I'm moving on. It doesn't drive up revenue or get people to buy your show. I think this would have been better suited somewhere in the middle of the card or after the beginning of the paid portion of this show. And there could have been much better things to really drive people in with.
Yeah. What about you, S-Bubs?
Yeah, I'd say I'm probably in the same boat as you guys. It was just very just like kind of short and like didn't really do that much. Like Speed had like maybe like 2 or 3 moments like in the match where he's like always doing some cool athletic stuff, but then the finish was like just like kind of came out of nowhere. It's like, well, I guess they won, and then they do the spot afterwards. It was like they could have just made this like a no DQ or like tornado tag to like do that in the match.
Yeah, or why we haven't done this in like ages? Give me an elimination table match. Those used to be so fun in the Attitude Era, and that's like an easy way. Like no one takes pins. You just start the 3 guys there. They all go through table, and obviously maybe not with this one, but just like in the future, like I'd love elimination table matches to come back because they're fun little gimmick matches and they give you spots and everything. But yeah, who knows? I guess I'll pull it up after. Cody Rhodes' eye swollen shut after the main event of WrestleMania. I guess Randy fucking clocked him. Hang on, I can bring it up here.
Shoot, eye poke.
Yeah, shoot, eye poke, shoot, punt, all of it. Where is it here? Yeah.
I feel like he did get him with that punt. Like
He probably said, like, you got to lay it in. Yeah, so that happened. And then we got McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. What do you think about this one, S-Bubs?
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I'm trying to think. Comparing it, I think I might have liked it a little bit more than the Priest one last year. But I'd say they're like around the same level. But I think Jacob can just kind of do more like fast-paced, like even the dives and stuff like that, just kind of impressive. And it made sense with like the feud and everything. And I don't really know. I mean, I guess Jacob, I don't really know what he does now, because especially if like Cody's just gonna be locked in with like Randy for a while, because the answer would be like he goes after Cody now. But
which is not good for Cody, like reaction wise, because we all thought, oh, probably Jacob and Randy, right? That's the way you go. Randy wins, and I even wonder too, with Cody taking the punt, if that, I still think that was always the plan, that he would, like, I thought Cody was gonna get some time off, maybe he won't, but I thought, okay, you punt him, even if he's gone for a little bit, Jacob and Randy, Jacob loses, Cody's back, but now, even though I could see them doing more Jacob and Drew for a little bit, to be honest, they could run that back again, and I guarantee they could do a cage match, and Drew's going to talk about, you've been locked up in cages before, like all those type of bad heel promotion.
Exact same feud as like the Priest feud, where like they're going to be in like a 4-way next, and then have a cage match where Jacob wins.
They'll go to SummerSlam as well. It'll feel like a rematch. So, what about you, David? What do you think about this one, the unsanctioned match?
I liked it. I expected just a little bit more from it being an unsanctioned match. I thought they would really use the arena more and use the crowd more than they did. They didn't. I think some of that might have been a change to not involve the crowd, to not highlight the fact that they still had empty seats at the beginning of the show. So that may have been a factor with that. Right now, it's a toss-up between this or the Gunther match as my favorite of the night, just full stop, because I feel like those are the only two matches that didn't seem like they just decided to wrap up the match at the last minute. I very much enjoy Drew's work. Him grabbing the phone again, that being a yearly staple with Drew, and getting the phone and tweeting out something and taking a video as he's punching, like all of that is just fun. So, and I think Jacob rightfully got this win. He needed this win, and I'm excited to see where he goes next.
Yeah, he's still got the fire. The crowd's behind him. He's such a versatile performer. He's getting more and more shape. Every time I see him, too, he's like toning up big time. So he's getting ready for that push. Even though I laugh when they asked him about his push or titles, he's like, I don't really care. I'm just here to make money because I got lots of kids in my family. So, like, Jacob's definitely going to be a company guy that he's what's a creative? Sure, I'll do it. Let's go, So, but he performs well. Like, the crowd gets excited. He'll find that random person in the crowd that has a sign and goes up and do the fucking weird head shake thing, He's licking the ropes. My kids were like, why is he doing that? I'm like, I don't know, man. But
my kid was like, gross.
Yeah, but like he stands out, right? You remember him. I'd have to go back and watch the Drew and Priest one. I think I feel like I enjoyed that one a bit more. I think I'll blame S-Buzz for this because he reminded me of the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn unsanctioned match. So it's like, right, when they use that word, some stuff can happen. This was just like a street fight. This was very much like just a WWE weapons match, right? So I thought there'd be something a little bit more. They got the toolbox, right? Which is like, that was fun moment of he brings up the toolbox and Drew has like this PTSD right away. He's like, no, like, right away, which I thought was like a great character moment. So I do think they could run these back a couple more times. It was a fun match. Fucking Michael Cole called Drew a Terminator after he did like the somersault like Terminator dive that Kenny does. Like, okay, I see what we're doing here. So, but no, these two delivered. I think this was, I guess, it's tough. Technically for me, it would be Gunther and Seth, but I everyone knows me. I hate big matches in finishing and interferences or DQs. Like, I get why so many people put Rock and Austin as their favorite WrestleMania main event. I can't, because the last 5 minutes of the match is Vince McMahon running around doing shit. And it's not even about Vince McMahon. It's just like you have this legendary match, and then it's this and the beer and the interference and stuff. It's like, it takes it down. So it's the same thing. We'll get to the Gunther Seth one. I'd probably have to give this the nod, but I feel like I'm hoping tomorrow. I'm just fucking praying that main event has nothing. I've been wanting this match, boys, since like 2013 of Punk and Roman. I just want straight up, even if I'm wrong about Punk losing, I don't care. I just want straight up a pinfall, whatever. Just like, please, can we just, I'm hoping, and I think if that is the case, that match could be the match of the weekend. I think they could very much deliver on that. But right now, it's Jacob and Drew, and definitely should have opened with this one, I feel like, but I guess it didn't matter because it's still in the free hour, but definitely like a better opener. So after that, we had the women's four-way, which I have it here. Where was it? Because Nikki Bella confirmed what she's got going on.
She posted, it was like fractured, sprained, and like torn or something like that. Yeah. Like literally everything that could possibly happen.
And if you see the video, it's bruised, and she has like 5 different incision stitches points. So again, as much as people from my generation, some people rag on because it's a WWE thing, right? Revisionist history about the Bells being like a part of that evolution. They were all part of it, but to me, and I know Nick's like, well, you didn't see what happened behind closed doors. I guess. So that's where I'm a fucking loser, Mark. I get it. But from my point of view, and from a lot of the people, it felt like they kind of jumped on that bandwagon and be like, oh yeah, we're doing this too. Maybe I'm wrong, but even at that point, I did not want Nikki Bella to actually get like hurt and not have this. I've been saying for months when Nikki was alone, it's like, you just got to get Brie back. You got to have them tag division, and that's where they go.
The gimmick was we were on that train before. I feel like we were on that train like earlier than a lot of people. I feel like SummerSlam last year, like when Unreal revealed that was actually maybe the plans. I feel like on the show we definitely said like we need to get Brie,
and I think we even said that before. I think we even said that before because we were like, again, no, and even then Michael Cole said they're the yes kicks. No one, again, if anyone watches the Forbidden Door, I think Double or Nothing, that's the next pay-per-view, right? It'll be because of Randy Orton, RKO, and Pat in the main event. It's not going to be because Brie Bella won the tag team titles and who's her husband? Oh, he does commentary for AEW now.
Someone's saying like WWE, like they just specifically hate Brian because like in the Stephanie like video packages and stuff, like stuff with Brian, but then he's nowhere in there. But Mercedes is in there like a couple of times, like clear as day in the middle of the frame. So it's just Brian they have a problem with.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know if it's because the whole yes thing too, because they tried to sue him for yes, and then he felt like he's like, you actually can't do that because it's just like a word. Like, and again, who cares if he was chanting yes? It's a weird thing, but I thought for sure, which I was right, is like at WrestleMania, the Bells are going to hold gold. I was on Buzz bandwagon before we got the Page news because it's like, okay, if they're hurt, then clearly you pivot to Bayley and Lyra. But I always thought you're ending WrestleMania with the gold, and the big return was Paige. She came back. Obviously, she's been gone for, I think they said 8 years. She had her stint in AEW. Been quiet for about a year. She's been training, but she came back for Brie Bella, so to be her mystery partner. Got a very good reaction. I think she was actually moving around pretty well. Now, granted, again, as we all said, tag place is probably a good place to start her and kind of grow from there. But she was moving almost better than I saw some of her last like AEW matches. And that's not even taking a slight at her because she even said like, I never felt like I fully got back in AEW. Like I never fully clicked right. And that's why she's been trained. She's even said she's been trained harder. So I think she fully admitted that like I never got back to where I was. And I don't know if she will be able to, but if she get better, as we'll talk about later, I think AJ looked the best she's looked since she's come back. So sometimes it just takes time. So I do think what's going to happen is when Nikki's healed up, they're going to lose the tag team titles. They're going to turn on Paige and you're going to heal Bella's, and they will run this back in the future with them getting it. And I honestly feel bad for Nikki. That fucking sucks.
Back AJ Lee and Paige versus.
You literally could. Literally, like, I think there's a good chance you could, even at WrestleMania, to be honest. Like now it's for the tag titles, right? But I do actually feel bad because it's like that sucks. Your sister's back in the company. You're going back there, and especially they probably had a good idea. Maybe they could be winning the tag titles. So, and I don't know if that's going to happen again next year. I could see it at a Raw, SummerSlam, but I don't know if they're going to go, okay, Nikki, you're healed. Let's run it back. So that does suck for them. I feel bad for them in that aspect, but at least she got to be there and she beat up Charlotte with a crutch. So she got a spot and she helped to get the win. And this match was fine. They had a weird thing where they had 3 people on the ring, right? Was that it?
No, it's 4.
Was it
Just
4?
a lot of the time, like people were just like down on the
Gone.
outside.
Yeah. They should have went with the 2. They should have gave this more time. And before I throw it over, this is for both companies because where it is here, the women's this 8:35, AJ and Becky 8:15, and Liv and Vakira is actually 6 minutes and 50 seconds. So for both companies, AEW, just because Monet's not there and because Tony's not there, does not mean you can just do one women's match. It should not just be, oh, our main talents here, what are they doing? It should be at least 2. It should be more. You have so much fucking time, but it should be at least more and much longer. And same thing with WWE. Becky this week was saying like, oh, we got to show how we could main event these big matches again. It's like, it's crazy that all these matches, and they keep talking about Steph's talking about the women's evolution, how she did that, and Paige was a pioneer. And it's like, yeah, but what are you giving them? They're not even getting double-digit match time. It's like both these companies are very much stepping back in a sense that it is frustrating from that point of view. And I don't know why, because they're even better than they were when they got the time. Like just better women's wrestler are keep coming and coming. So it's just like, I don't get it. It's not like, oh, we have it's like the jokes about NXT, right? With the lesser than great men quality. It'd be like, oh, let's say for the last year, we got all these new NXT girls and they kind of suck. Like they're good promos, or they look good, or they only can do one good thing in the ring, but they can't really be the next star, right? But that's definitely not the case. And so it's frustrating right now for both, and it's hard to invest. And my last point, again, I thought I lied. I said last point. How Asuka and Io are on this card, I don't know. How Tiffany, now I know Tiffany made the joke that she had a bad match, she should go to Coachella. Maybe that's true. I don't know. But like, that's another sign
honestly,
for me.
Like with the time they got, like the matches here, like I'd rather, like if that's gonna be the match they're getting, like just do it someplace else.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So my point is obviously with that, it's more just like it's crazy to me that both Io and Tiffany, who won last year, are nowhere on this card.
Yeah.
And that's where, for me, I said this on Twitter, that's a very Vince McMahon thing, where one year Jack Swagger would win the Money in the Bank in the world title, and then the next year he's Michael Cole's manager. Like, that's the thing where you could not, or Dolph, right? He wins Money in the Bank, cashes in, and then he just becomes like a job guy for another year. Like, that was the tough thing with Vince. It was hard for you in those like 2010 to 2015 to invest in anybody that wasn't Roman, because you just worry he'd get bored and move on. And Io not being here and Tiffany, that's just crazy to me. So that's my rant about all this women's stuff. David, what do you take from this tag match? New tag champs, Paige and Brie Bella. Such a random GM mode combo. Like, that's definitely a GM mode team combo.
It is.
When you
This
draft the other person, you just create like a new tag team.
Yeah, and we all missed out on the Page points. None of us got to get those for the draft, too.
None of us got the Page points. So this one was a hard one to pre-pick because the Page information did come out. But on all of social media and everything else, Brie and Nikki were seen walking into arenas, walking side by side. Like they were no-selling the injury, saying tonight's going to be our night. Countdown, 5 hours until we do this. They were really, so they kind of made it, I was like, okay, well, maybe Paige isn't going to replace Nikki Bella. Maybe she's going to come in the AJ Lee and Becky match. Like, I could see them slotting her in there as who's going to be the next challenger for this women's intercontinental title. I'm like, okay, so that one kind of made it hard to pick. But yeah, once Paige came out and you heard that Paige pop, it kind of solidified it for me. And odd choice, but fun choice. I mean, like you said, Paige looked good. She's looked the best we've seen her. She looked better than she did when she won the AEW Women's Championship. And I'm happy to see her back. I did make a tweet and a comment in our Discord like, it's funny we're in 2026 and Paige is winning championships again, and Alberto's getting arrested again. So all is right with the world. Like, everything's cyclical. So on that, it was a fun match. I feel like again, Brie didn't have as much rust on her as I expected. Paige didn't have as much rust on her as I expected.
And Brie was always the worker too, right? And so, look who she's married to. Like, it's definitely her as well, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like she's got like the best person in the game to be like, can you, like, what should I do? How should I transition? How should I do this? Like, they're definitely she's got a cheat code over there. Cause I even remember, was AEW or WWE? There's somebody that said on the podcast, Brie Bella said like, people will. I think it was WWE. Well, people text me and ask me to ask Brian stuff for
Yeah, I
them.
think
You
it
know,
was like I think Bailey has said that she'll like
Yeah.
do that.
because and it's the same way. The AJ jokes about like AJ leaving the inspiration for people. The way the generation that grew up on Shawn Michaels, that's this gen for Brian, and definitely Punk. I'd say for character wise, but for wrestling wise, Brian's gonna be that guy in the next 20 years. You're always like,
Yeah.
oh, why'd you get into wrestling? Oh, well, I saw Wrestlemania. I saw this. Like he is one of those guys. So again, easy to float things by if she has like any ideas, right? And she looked good in this match too. No, there wasn't any major botches in this match, really. Like nothing like the 1D the Usos threw out at the end of that match.
Besides the cameraman going down. I don't even know what caused that, like, because obviously it happened from like behind, so I didn't even see who it was that knocked him
Family
down.
Clay asked, like, what's this camera angle? Like, oh, there's no camera angle. Because then they go, if you see him, they switch the camera, and you can see him like get up and like brush himself off. So I think he literally just ate shit by himself, which is like surprising. It doesn't happen.
I feel like that corner
more.
always has like the cables. Like you always see the guys in that
Well,
corner
yeah.
like pulling the cables.
And that's like credit to WWE. I'm surprised people don't fall and eat shit more. There's so many cables and so many people and so much talent. It's so rare that the camera guys actually get taken out or hurt. So hope that guy didn't like, tear, sprain, and rip his ankle like Nikki Bella or anything like that. But
yeah, on the match, I'd say it was better than I expect. Like I was hoping it'd be good, but then I also felt like there was a chance like it could just all go wrong.
Yeah.
But I thought it turned out pretty well. Obviously, I think Paige being in there got the crowd like a lot more into it
Yeah.
because they wanted to see her. I thought like there was good reactions for Paige and Charlotte in there.
Oh yeah, that was that they had. You shared the Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega gif of them like clapping and so yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, she did look good in there. I thought overall it was a fun match. I did want Lyra and Bailey to win, but at the same time, I don't think Paige and Brie are necessarily going to be on like a Roman Reigns type run with the tag
they could
titles.
literally lose it in 2 days. They could literally use or on SmackDown. Like I said this in the Discord. The women's
like,
title.
As soon as like Nikki is like cleared, they'll probably lose it. So
yeah. The women's title at big events, or most importantly WrestleMania, is like the AEW Trios title, where it's like, who could we return, or where can we do a shocking shift?
like
Let's do it there. Yeah, and that's what the Trios is now, right? It's like, okay, we got
Mystico,
have him win.
Tag titles has like so many weird like. Well, like I mean, the best has to be like Becky Lynch and Lita have like a tag reign for like a month.
Right, and then they didn't even lose it. Lita just like gave it up, and then like Trish
Like,
came in
Lita,
to cover
like,
for her.
Turned heel, or no, yeah, like Trish turned heel and like attacked Lita like backstage, and then like someone else beat Becky for the titles, like a random. Oh, I think it was Damage Control beat though, or something like that.
Damage Control.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, and I love seeing these come up, these stats. In-ring wrestling time in total, hour and 26 minutes. Ad time, hour and 14 minutes. And then the last few WrestleMania for night ones, 39 had an hour and 57 for wrestling minutes. 40 had 2 hours and 4 minutes. 41 had an hour and 45 minutes. This had an hour and 24. So it's like 2 hours, 145, then 125. So I do think that's something that they will. I think they're going to see that critique and go, you know what? We do need to change it. Because again, they don't have they have so many good people on the roster right now. Again, eras where they didn't have that, but it's like right now they have people that can really go. So I do think that's something they will eventually kind of critique and go, you know, we do got to get some better in-ring action going on, or just like giving them the time. So yeah, we'll see. Next up we had, was it IC?
It was
IC?
Becky Lynch and AJ for the IC title, because I was like, I was shocked that they went back-to-back women's matches, but then I thought about who was listening. I was like, you kind of had to, because this was a very women's heavy night with so, but Becky Lynch, AJ.
Yeah, what do you think of that one, David?
Again, like I said earlier, AJ didn't show as much ring rust as I thought. Her and Becky had some hard hitting moments. It was a good match. The only thing that really kind of got me was the ending of it. I don't know if AJ was supposed to slide out of the submission before before Becky fully got to the ropes. I felt like also a lot of this match was taken over by the Becky Lynch Jessica Carr feud.
It was crazy how, like, I liked the feud, but it was crazy how big it played into. Like, I thought you'd do this like on a Raw or something. Like, that became the bigger focus of the matches. Are these two gonna fight? And AJ kind of felt like an afterthought. I agree with you a little bit there.
They were announcing it during AJ's entrance. AJ's doing this big entrance with all these kids, and we don't even know like why, like if these were like some special kids, some group home or whatever else.
Are special, David. Come on.
But they spent the entire time talking about the fact that off camera Becky's getting into it with Jessica Carr from the start of it. And yeah, so we got our first real ref bump with that. They had the little back and forth, but yeah, the ending felt rushed. She slips out of the devil's what's her finisher?
Black Widow, right? Is it
Black Widow? Yeah. And then they have the moment in the corner. She pulls Jessica Carr in for the ref bump, then throws her back into the exposed turnbuckle. 1, 2, 3, it's over. And I'm just like, oh, that was like someone hit them with the wrap it up. We got to go home. And for them only having, for them only having an 8-minute match. And like, I can't tell you the last time WrestleMania's ended before 9 p.m. Central Time. Like
but they started early too. Like,
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you had the time.
I thought
nothing else was going on.
Yeah, I thought we would have started like half an hour ago because it feels like they kind of like it's like they always say it's 4 hours. I guess it depends because the 2 nights throw me off all the time now. So that's that they are shorter now.
I saw last year. I think like night 1 was like 3 hours, like 15 or something like that, and then night 2 was like 4 hours.
Yeah. So that, and I thought, and I guess it was technically, it was 4 hours. So yeah, it hit about the mark. Yeah, because it ended like just under 4 seconds, like just before 7.
There's one less announced match tomorrow than there was tonight. There were 7 announced matches tonight, 6 tomorrow.
Well, and Roman and Punk are gonna take his time, man.
For this to be done so fast, like I said, it just kind of felt like, okay, you guys are just speed running this WrestleMania
tomorrow, and then ones that I feel are like, if these ones today were short, I feel like tomorrow there's some that are like guaranteed, like. I feel like if you look at the matches here, like just statistically, Rhea and Jade is going to be like
Jade's going to short.
Brock and Oba is like, that's like no way they go past 10 minutes.
No, and same thing with, I honestly think it shouldn't be, but I think Trick and Sammy, same thing, could be like 7, 8 minutes. Yeah, and that's where, and that's the thing where
go like an hour.
Yeah, that's why, and that's the thing where obviously all the time with AEW we talk about, hey, these shows can be great, but then how long they are, you kind of water it down, right? WrestleMania, and I'm not saying both of them need to be 6 hours, but WrestleMania, like I'm buckled in. Like if it's gonna be longer, I expect that. Like I'm fine if this goes longer because it is the big event. I'm sure there's some fucking spreadsheet where they're like the perfect time is this 4 hours because it's like NFL football, so you got to hit that for ad rate and this whatnot. I don't know, but it's like I'm fine to buckle up sometimes. Now I think at one point Vince almost got to like a 7-hour WrestleMania. Someone's like, no, like I can't remember which WrestleMania it is.
35.
35 is the longest one ever.
Yeah,
what's the runtime? How long it was?
35 is the longest because that's the one where they had to pay the city of New York to reopen the transit authority because everything shut down and people could not get home.
That was
how long did you say you thought it was?
I thought it was 7 hours, but
I think including pre-show,
yeah, including pre-show, which did have matches. It's 7.5 hours.
Okay, what do you have? Just WrestleMania?
Just WrestleMania says 5 hours 24 minutes.
Okay, so and I did watch pre-show. Yeah, I did watch pre-show as well, so that's on me because I remember I watched it with
because that was a long night.
Yeah, and I remember there were
a bunch of matches like. Had like the Andre and like a tag title match and like the battle, like another battle royal, I think, or like so it had a bunch of matches on that pre-show.
Shout out to Royce Keys for winning the giant battle royal, as we all thought there. But and that was one because I remember all the reports after WrestleMania, the talent were like, I was like the rumor was
that one like the main event started like past 12 p.m. EST.
People were like, this is late. This is late. So.
Talent were happy. Do you see like AJ, like a bunch of them were posting like he's the GOAT because his speech was only like 10 minutes. Like we were out of there, 11:30.
Yeah, man, Rhea Ripley is just completely breaking kayfabe with Liv now. It's like on the podcast, she's talking about I listened to Paul Meets World, and she was just like talking good things about her. And now someone said one of the worst WrestleMania entrances ever, and then she said you spelled best wrong. So we're just over. Rhea doesn't care anymore on social media. She's just full thrown in the towel. But I suppose, what do you think about this Intercontinental Championship match here?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I liked their match at Elimination Chamber as well, even though some people didn't really like it as much. But I thought this is good too. Like you said, probably the best they've looked out there in this combination. And yeah, I thought it was good. I didn't really notice or maybe it just didn't affect me as much, the stuff with the referee Jessica. Like, to me, I didn't really notice it that much besides the finish.
Yeah.
But I thought it was good, and on Discord I said I'd seen a theory about Becky winning here, stuff like that, maybe a week ago or a few days ago, that I just thought was interesting. And it's because Becky, I feel especially with this character, is kind of well, a lot of her fans are oh, why does Triple H make her do this character and stuff? But I feel you can tell this is all her. She wants to do this, and I feel they could literally do her losing this title on Raw, where she's oh, I'm the champion, I'm gonna open challenge to someone, and then someone just beats her right away.
Who would it be?
JC Jane.
JC Jane or Sol.
No, I feel something like that.
Sol Ruka would be probably the option.
Yeah.
Which would be funny because that's what they did with Paige, and Paige is back. She did that. So yeah, they could, because I don't know which way they would go with her, but
because I don't know if she'd have I don't know. I feel with this character, I don't think she'd have another long IC title run. I don't know.
Yeah. Apparently, which we'd heard this before about AJ Lee. Apparently, AJ Lee is taking a long break. She just said it's not good vibe.
I posted that in the Discord with the interview. Just it's all right. Well, that's all that.
It just, it's you're barely here already. We got Ewan versus Bailey, and that was it. I think she will do something else, but I could also see a future where she's just an ambassador in the Rumble and doing that type of stuff. I've been massively disappointed with this run, and it sucks too because this match was actually working, and now she's gonna go away. So, but yeah, the car stuff, I like the gimmick. I'm fine with it. I do want them to pay it off and have her fucking beat Becky for that goddamn IC title on Raw. Do a Tony Storm, schoolgirl roll up, a small package, even schoolboy, whichever you want to do. For me, it's just, I don't know, I guess it's dumb, right? Because I also watch AEW, but we have a thing in Discord, AEW rules with a Z or a Z, because it's they have a match, then if someone throws a chair, it's ref discretion, right? So I guess you can do that, and I guess it's WrestleMania. There's just so many times Becky actually pushing her, and I know the spot of, you pull ref from in front of you and they get hit, but usually you try and do that from behind. Jessica Carr's looking right at Becky, and she's hey, and come over, how do you not even, because we've seen this before in matches too, where something will happen, they'll do a pin and a rough pick, I'm not counting, they get an argument. How does Jessica Carr not be I'm not fucking counting that? And you make Becky win some other way, but you just pull, there's no way I'm counting this pin. And that'd be different if it was the only one in the match, but because it happened multiple times, it's just that to me got to the AEW rules part where it's okay, this is a little unbelievable for me of how she could not, and WWE is way more heavy on the DQs. It's a big complaint for me, right? So it's just how does this finish happen that way? So it felt flat, kind of like we talked about before. There's some finishes that had that going on. So yeah, it's a shame that AJ is going to be gone for a bit after I think she wrestled her, I don't know, I'm a defender of the mixed tag, but her best singles match. So we'll see. After this, was this Seth and Gunther, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we got Seth and Gunther, just like with WrestleMania 25, people were saying, well, Cody and Randy's going to be Randy and Triple H, and this is going to be the Shawn and Taker. I think there was a closeness to it. I love the way they started of just Gunther coming in with the big kick, and the chairs confused me at first, but then the bell rang for a second time. The bell did ring.
I didn't notice the bell ringing the first time.
The only reason I noticed because Logan, my 6-year-old, asked why did they ring the bell? And I said, sometimes they just do that, So must have been a mistake, whatever. But I was what's going on? And then this, I already complained about it because we knew how this finish was going to go, so I won't reiterate too much. But I just hated that they're having this great match, and it's what we predicted. The spear. They didn't even do a ref bump. It's just the spear's checking on Gunther. It's like, sure, I guess, but how,
You
like,
know, when Seth was up on, because he did the stomp to the other table.
Yeah.
What I thought was gonna happen, which honestly, well, you tell me if this would have made you more mad or if you would have liked this better as a finish.
Okay.
So he's up there, and do you remember last year in the 4-way IC title match with Braun, where he puts Carlito through the table like with a spear, like jumping from one table to another?
Yeah.
I thought Seth was gonna be up there, like looking for the spear or looking for the stomp. He looks up. Braun is like on the barricade, runs across, spears him through the table, DQ.
DQ.
Yeah.
I would have been pissed. You can't do a DQ at Mania. I would be
That's
fine.
what I'm wondering. Like,
I
just that was what I was thinking in that moment. Like, because I remember that spot from last year because it was literally like in the exact same table. So I was like, he's gonna run across spear Seth and
all
DQ.
you need to do is the ref can just, which is tough because they did it with the car, but all you need to do is just like the ref takes a bump and you could still do that, right? I'm fine with that spot if the ref is down. And again, I'm not fine with it at all. Gunther could beat Seth and Seth's going to be okay. You know what you do, commentators? Oh, this is his first match back in 6 months. Easy, done. That's why for me, I can't give this, like, as the work rate, it is 4 and above. I don't know where I would have put it, but with the finish, I can't go above it because I just hate that they're having this match. It could be like a WrestleMania classic, and that's where we talked about these finishes of getting in the way. Like, imagine if Angle and HBK Mania ended with someone coming in and pulling Shawn or something. It's just like right away, those matches rarely get remembered. It's the same thing as EO and Stephanie Vakir's best match ended in a DQ. And then the matches later, like the one they actually had for the title, was good, but it wasn't like that first one, right? And that's where I'm always like, just go for the finish because it sours it. And that's where, for me, that thing sours it. Braun got the 2 spears. He got a WrestleMania moment. I see the gifs all around. Great. He's running down. He looks funny. But, like, do this tomorrow on Raw. Do this. Literally have Seth lose. And he comes out, he makes some sort of promo, he challenges Gunther because he thinks he could beat him. Maybe he's not 100%, but he wants to try one more time. And Braun hits the stage. And people will forget right away because Gunther goes somewhere else. And then it's like, oh, Seth and Braun back together. I don't know why they had to do this tonight. I know why. It's for the moment, but save it for Raw. I legitimately think Seth and Gunther, I was at least like going to like a 4.5. I love the reversals. I love the back and forth. I thought they had very good chemistry. There was a good intensity. It just felt like a random grudge match. Like, it was legit given those like Shawn Taker or like HB and Angle, like just random 2 great wrestlers. Seth pulled out the 3 suicide dives. He hasn't done that in a long time. And I just, but that's a Travis thing. So I think I'd give it like a 3.75. That's what I'd give it, just because that spear, damn, I can't do it. But what do you think about this match?
No, I really, really enjoyed it. It was like probably one I was expecting to be like best match of the night, and I'd probably put it there. And yeah, I think they have really good chemistry. Like you're saying, like people are posting just like the brawls they're having on Raw, and like you could tell they're gonna do some good stuff. And yeah, I thought this was really good. I mean, like with you talking about it so much, I kind of just already felt like the Braun interference was gonna happen. To me, it wasn't like as big of a problem. Like I can just see the match that did happen, but I understand like where you're coming from, where people are coming from. And I thought it was like, for all the injuries and stuff that have happened, like I think the match ended up working out.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? What do you take away from this one?
Yeah, the match itself was good start to finish. The problem is the interference. I felt like I would have just liked to have seen these 2 go and just have a clean win. And especially with this being Seth Rollins' return, he can take the loss, and they can have the Braun Breaker return afterwards. Seth can come out and the Vision can cut a promo on him about how, it just proved that he's nothing without them, and then have the Braun Breaker thing happen on another night. Like, it didn't have to happen right now. And you're right. Like, good match that is just overshadowed by, Braun Breaker's back, and this is where we go from here.
Yeah. So And I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, that's going to be Seth and their story for a little bit, and then not sure what happens with Gunther. Maybe they'll circle back to the Ray program now that Ray's healthy. I don't know what's going to happen there. Doesn't have to retire him again. Ray and Gunther can just still be fun, you know. And they already had a match that I think was a really good match in the past. So I don't. I feel like that's right. I feel like that happened on a SmackDown.
Yeah, they
or
had
something.
like an IC, like when Gunther
Yeah.
was like the IC champ. I
Yeah.
feel like that was one of his like early defenses.
And I remember being good. So like, just you just have to retire, just run it back, you know. But yeah, we'll see. And then and then finally for this portion, we had Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Fakir, which I think was the most back and forth I think we were and many other people were. And I was always of the mind that Stephanie, I thought not always, but like once I made a pick, okay, I'm gonna stick with Stephanie. But man, we had heard rumblings. I think it was like before Mania time. So that's like December of like, oh, the company really, there's somebody that really want to give Liv Morgan a hard push going to the Mania. Well, they sure did because she wins the title here. But these last few weeks, she's been everywhere for media, for podcasts, for interviews. She dropped the fucking Trouble music video, which it is what it is. I think some.
I don't like the song, but it has gone like the trouble. That part stuck.
That's stuck in my head for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, just leave her alone. She's doing her thing. Like, is anybody that mad? If anyone does not
She
like the
even had
song,
an interview where she's like, I don't think I'm gonna be doing more music.
yeah, I saw.
I just wanted to do the video and like the entrance. So
Yeah, and she did.
and
So
I did
she,
like the
she doesn't like.
the entrance. I thought was really good. Like,
Yeah, and she said she did because she didn't like her actual music too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
The entrance
really
was
like
something.
the entrance. I feel like that's always like I always thought about it, and like that was my thing. Like I'd always thought like an entrance like that, like with like the dancers and stuff like that, like it would be cool. But then it's also like practically like why are you doing this dance routine before your match? So in my mind, I was like, no one's really ever gonna do an entrance like this, but she did do it, and I thought it was really good.
And it worked. Like it worked out for what's happening here. And that's what's crazy because that's the last thing with the heels winning in the entrance. I'm like, okay, maybe she'll lose. And I didn't care either way because I like them both. But I'm like, maybe because she's getting this big flashy entrance. But no, she gets the flashy entrance, the music video, the this. And yeah, like I said, the song is what it is. But she got a big push here. And that's a moment where I sent the Discord. But I was out of the room. I was getting dinner ready or like dinner served. And my 4-year-old was like, Dad, what is going on here? And then I looked and they're just grinding. I'm like, oh God, I forgot. I didn't know they were going to do fully this, but yeah, again, I thought this was a good match, but for me, this under-delivered because I thought they could have a great match here. This is one where I would have been fine if like Liv had to cheat to win. I know everyone's going, oh, Judgment Day, they're always doing this, but it's just like that just put a full stop to the match. And again, it felt like just a main event Raw or something. I just wish they let the ladies go. And same thing, if Stephanie loses, it's like, even if Liv were to beat her clean, it's like, whatever. Like, she's had the belt for 210 days. She's had a good run. It's her first fucking WrestleMania. She's young. Like, I don't think Stephanie would have lost here and been, like, as clean. And it would have been like, oh, that's it. The push is dead. Like, the project's over. So, I wish, I wish if I wish they picked one to be like, okay, this is going to be the one that's going to have interference. Then you'll win clean, whether it's Gunther or Liv. Like, let's have one of these heels win clean, and even Becky. Like, and Becky, hers makes sense, but I wish there was a couple of those where I think they just they kind of hogtied them to not have like a great match. I thought it was a good match. I think the ending was a little flat, but the crowd pop and good for Liv, and we'll see what happens with Liv's second run here. So,
yeah, when it comes to this match, like, when the whole entrance first started, I honestly thought it was another like commercial where they were just playing the Liv Morgan music video, and then it zooms out. And
I
I'm
didn't
like,
think it
oh,
was 'cause I could hear the crowd noise. Like
they're doing this live, and then it has the entrance. But I agree with you when it comes to the interference. I think especially with the story that was built up with the back and forth of the who can't beat who and who's resolve and grit is better than whose, you still run the interference angle. I think it kind of takes away from Liv saying, I can beat you, I am as strong as you, I just because I came up through the PC and all this other stuff, like I do have this, I do have that. Then to have all the stuff with the Judgment Day, I feel like it kind of takes away from that. I would have rather just seen Liv straight up, if you're going to have her beat her, just have her straight up beat her, and then she can stand tall and take that back to the Judgment Day of, look what I did at WrestleMania. Like, continue her shadow lead of the Judgment Day from there. Like I didn't need the interference on this one. Other than that, they had a good match. I think it could have also gone a couple of more minutes. Super short match. Again, don't know why you're rushing this. You're not going up against a UFC or Monday Night Football or anything like that. You're not losing people. Just have the damn match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It was too short, especially I thought like the build they did have was really good. I mean, I'm hoping they'll just like do the match again, like just run it back, like even on a Raw would get more time. Because I did think like the work they were doing was pretty good. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully on like a different Raw or a pay-per-view or whatever that they'll get some more time. But yeah, we'll see. I think they also could. And two, I thought we kind of set up, and we talked about this before, the possibility if Liv or Dom or even just Liv gets kicked out from the Judgment Day and you have her against Raquel and her against Roxanne, her winning clean here, you don't have to flip her on Raw. I'm saying like, oh, she wins clean, and all of a sudden she's like, I want to do it on my own. But just like you could have, that was the start of her run, and then in the future you can go down that route because she kind of semi baby. But yeah. But speaking
I don't
of,
really know who like on Raw, because I mean like I do know who she could work with, but the question is like even just looking at like Stephanie's title run, it feels like it could just be like Liv and Stephanie like 5 times in a row. Like you could have Liv like just like fantasy booking the run, like you could have her defend against like a Bailey or Lyra or people like that, but then it could just be like like Maxine Dupree 5 times or something like that. So you never know how they're gonna book it. Like I think it could be a good run, just like on paper, but
yeah, and like Liv, and it's tough to judge because last time Liv's run was just really around the Rhea stuff, right? Like it had Becky at the beginning, and then it was her and
Becky,
Rhea.
like all Rhea. There's a match
EO
that's
started its main
forgotten
event,
because
right?
it happened on Raw, but her versus Zelina, like that was a match that like people were thinking like it happened on the Raw before Money in the Bank, so obviously it wasn't on Money in the Bank, but that was like a really really good match. I remember being really good because it was like I think Ray and Dom were at ringside and like really played into it. But I remember that match being really good. But yeah, so yeah, her title reign was definitely mostly focused on Rhea. I think Rhea is probably winning tomorrow, so I don't think it'll be like Rhea's just like back. Even if she loses, I don't think she'll be like back on Raw just like right away. It's like we're running back. If anything, they'll probably do Rhea and Liv at like Crown Jewel with like Liv, like they'll do a
that would make sense
thing where like Liv beats her. It's like finally beat her.
Actually, like I think Rhea would beat her though, because Liv's already won that thing, right? That Crown Jewel Championship thing. She beat Nia, remember?
Jewel winner.
Yeah, so I think she's taking the Riptide and looking up the lights in Saudi if that happens. But no, they definitely could have that. I think that feud. It had. I think it's overly hated, but it also like, deserves hate. I don't know.
It's like the story. It's like everything was there for it to be good, but it just kind of didn't. Like I don't even think it's their fault at all in like how it turned out. So it's just very weird.
Even bad
it's like one of those like feuds that's like it's built up to be like it's like a manufactured like or not really because it did have the story, but it's like
it did. And the crowd was hot.
It tried to be like as epic. Like this is like an epic feud. It's like. It's kind of like it was like it's like when you're on like Roman versus Brock like 3, where it's like it kind of is an epic feud like on paper, but like in the work, it's like not really.
Yeah, and they also spammed it too much. I think it was like 3 pay-per-views in a row where it's like a match with them, the mixed tag, a match with them, and then
involved in it so much.
Yeah, and then the Netflix premiere too. So. We'll see.
I hope it goes well for Liv in this run. Like I do like Liv, and I do think she's really good. Like when she's in there with really good people and gets the time. So I'm hoping the best for it.
Yeah. Let's see here. And then they had John Cena, as I said. He had the opening. Fine opening.
Have a Danhausen segment tomorrow.
How do they not even do that? They should, right? But he had an opening. He was very robotic, PR John Cena. And I love, like, I don't know. He's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. It's like, what do you think? It hasn't been that long. Like, you retired in December. It'd be different if it was like a full year. And even then, people are always going to pop for legends. But even after a year, like, okay, I could see you play up, year and a half, been gone. Thanks for your action. But it's like, you've been gone for like a cup of coffee, man. They're still cheering for you. And then he announced the attendance, and then they did a fun thing where Bianca came out and said that that's wrong because there's actually one more, and John Cena announced the attendance up by +1 because Bianca is expecting, which I fucking knew because I saw that dress and I said to Emma, I'm like, it's over for us. Like like 'cause anytime it is a stereotype, but sometimes when women wear those big things, especially in Hollywood, it's around there. It's like, oh, here it comes, and so. It's gonna be a long time before we see Bianca. Like, hadn't seen her since last year. Obviously, the referee spot,
not until like Mania next year, probably
at the earliest.
At the earliest.
Like, and that depends, right? Because she could come back right? Because like she could come back right away, like Becky did. But then what happened was Becky took time off later. She like came back right away, and then she's like, I'm gonna retroactively
like a year off.
So it's just a question like, what's Bianca gonna do? Is she gonna be one of those that has the kid and then takes time off right away, or is she gonna come back and then take it later? I don't know. Up to her. From her, obviously, and her and Ford, very happy. Hope everything's successful and healthy. That's great. Talent wise, it does suck, but nothing's gonna suck because it's the birth of the child and their child, right? But it's just like, man, a whole year and then she's gone again.
Jade leaving WWE before they do the match.
Oh yeah, she could be going to Hollywood and they're never gonna pay that off. Like it's crazy. But and you know what? There is another reason why Rhea's definitely going over tomorrow, because there's no waiting around because Bianca, and you never know, she could maybe never come back. She could come back as like a general manager or something. I think she will, but sometimes life changes, right? It might be
like Carmella, just like never came back, I think.
And that's why I don't think that'll be the case. But you don't know people's priorities in their life. She could be like, I've made event WrestleMania, I've won the Royal Rumble, I've done all these shit. Like, I could take more time off. And again, she could do the contract other ways. She can do what Biggie's doing. Like, there's opportunities. She did a ton of ambassador work already when her finger was fucked up. So there's tons of things they can have her do and appear on these things. Or she could host next year. Well, she won't host in Saudi, I imagine. But
no.
But yeah, there you go. That was the attendance. Was there anything else from the show? Oh, go ahead, Espos.
Oh no, I was just gonna say she'll show up on if Raw is in her hometown or something or stuff like that. Anything else from the show? I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at the show to see if there's anything else, but I think we covered anything. No appearance by Ted DiBiase, so there you go. He was in the crowd.
You see him posting the videos, just him in his selfie, him filming selfie with Cody and Randy in the background. Is I'm waiting.
He did post something with some judge that is running for something within his county, and he's like, this is the man who got me off, and don't believe the fake news. And I was like, oh damn, not this, not now.
Well, good for the DiBiase family. They got to watch WrestleMania and hang out together at con. So, but so we'll see. I again, like Espo says, maybe that's true. Nick Khan, if he's saying, hey, I don't look at social media, don't do that stuff. I hope the rest of the team is, and I hope they look at what they got planned tomorrow. And if something's iffy, something's off, I hope they go, we got to do some stuff. Whether it is the wrestling, I don't care. Go an extra hour. I really hope tomorrow delivers, because again, I don't love watching shows that are like, oh, that was all right, So we'll see. It should be fun. But yeah, we'll see what else happens. As we're going to use picks tomorrow, we're going to talk about some little AEW stuff now. Do you have any draft results, S-Bubs? I didn't ask you at the beginning of the show. Okay, that's fine. So tomorrow, tune in. We'll have some draft results for that. But then, so AEW, we're not going to do the full Dynasty thing. I might, Dylan asked about calling in. I might bring him for 5 minutes, but I don't know where he is right now. I want to get his little mini review. But so we won't talk about the full card. We'll just talk overall. And then also we'll talk about the big thing being the MJF and Darby. So yeah, David, what do you think about Dynasty? Any highlights? Because we're not going over the full card because it would take forever. But any specific highlights from the show? And then, I guess Darby too. So
I mean, the show it kicked off with a bang with the tag match with the Young Bucks and the Don Callis family. I mean, the Okada Takeshita back and forth, leading into the Young Bucks, that was good. Darby Allin and Andrade was good. And then, I really liked the MJF Kenny one. It ended much differently than I thought. Same thing with John Moxley and Will Ospreay. Like that ended a lot differently than I thought. But they were good wrestling matches. I mean, they were all long double digit wrestling matches. Everything was 15 minutes plus, with the exception of that stupid conglomeration match. I think that was the worst for me. But
Not
that
a
also
conglomeration fan.
that also had the unfortunate thing of Gabe Kidd getting hurt. So who knows how
Yeah.
long that could have been before they had to probably wrap things up and take it home. But other than that, yeah, it was a good pay-per-view. It's much better than I would rate night one of WrestleMania, and it's also a long pay-per-view. It's like, hey, we're borrowing from this WWE time. If you guys aren't going to use it, we are.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where I wish there was some perfect medium, right? Because it's like
There definitely is. I mean,
there's,
it's just
but
like
both
when
these companies
people do
gotta
it.
like me in the middle, and like you add more time, you take less time. Both you do the women's, like I feel like, and I get it because Tony says like, oh, he wants to give people worth his money and everything. I get it. It's fine. Luckily, where the show was for me was in Vancouver. Lots of guy train stuff, but it's just like some of these
I
matches
feel
don't
like
need
the
to be here, you
medium
know?
is like 7 matches and like starting early.
Yeah, starting
Like,
early for
that's the
sure. Yeah,
medium.
same thing. That's exactly it. I don't know why, if they're going to do these long AEW shows, why they just don't start earlier. Just start earlier. That's fine. Most people that are going to watch them will make time or watch the replay after. It's not going to be, oh, starts at 3. I'm not watching Dynasty
Especially
anymore.
if
Fuck
it's
these
on the
guys.
West Coast, TK, like he doesn't care what time the show ends.
No, which it was in Vancouver. It was.
Yeah.
So they're like,
It
oh, it's
made
starting at 5. Perfect. It's like, yeah, but like, what about everybody else? You know. So
Yeah, it made more sense when they only had Dynamite and they had 4 pay-per-views a year, like, and you had to spread out and you wanted to give
yes, when
everyone
they had
that
the 4,
pay-per-view
I
shine.
understood.
Like
Yeah.
it made sense, but now you're doing more shows, more special. You
They're
got all
close
these
to
other
monthly
shows
now. Soon,
and
like
things like that. Like,
what is that AW Redemption? It is right, or was it Revenge? What was it?
Redemption.
Yeah, and that's rumored to be July. So it's like they're getting close to that WWE like once a month sort of thing. And it's like, well, then you don't gotta have everybody on the fucking card if it's once a month. Then like get them on the next one. So yeah. What about you, S Bubs? I saw you watch some. Did you watch all Dynasty or most of it? I feel like I saw you
I
comment
watched
on a
a
majority of it.
couple matches of it.
Yeah.
I'd have to think. I don't remember. I definitely watched the main event. I definitely watched Tekla and
Watch Moxley.
Jamie. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely watched Moxley and
Your guy.
Ospreay. What else did I see from Dynasty? I think that was it. I kind of like tuned in and out through like random matches.
You didn't see the classic that Edge and Christian put on? Come on,
No, I didn't see
come
it.
on now. It was actually, again, they delivered. FTR on them,
Yeah.
4-star.
Yeah. But of the matches I saw, I definitely liked Tekla and Jamie a lot. I feel like that one's setting up for like a rematch.
Yeah,
at
that
some
that
point.
the finish live though fell flat big time. Like everybody was
It
like,
was just
especially
like roll up with her holding the ropes, right?
yeah, but especially on our side of the arena, the way it was, you couldn't even see her hold, like unless you're watching the screen, which I don't. So like you could not see. It just looked like she rolled
And
up
it was
and pinned
kind of
her.
weird too because they did the thing with what's her name? The other brawling bird. I just forgot her name.
Oh, Alex
Ospreay's
Windsor.
wife. Yeah, Alex Windsor. Like she came out to do like, oh, like she had like her hand on the rope. I thought they were gonna like restart the match because she was like talking to the referee, like she had her hand on a rope, and it's like, and it kind of looked, and then Excalibur's like, oh, referee's decision is final, and then just cuts away. So that was it. Like it seemed like they were gonna do like the restarting the match thing, but it just didn't happen. And I didn't see the match, but I did see that Tekla fought Windsor on Collision Spring Breakthrough.
Yeah,
So
I
it
haven't seen
definitely
that yet.
feels like they're setting up for a rematch with her and Jamie, which should be good. I don't know if they do like 2 out of 3 falls again, since she just did that with
Yeah, hopefully
Statlander.
not. Yeah.
But maybe like something, I don't know, some other, like I like to see like not like a no DQ thing. I think just something with like, I mean, if they did do like an Iron Woman match,
Texas
that'd be
Bull
cool.
rope match.
Yeah.
They gotta
But I mean,
touch
yeah,
them
something
forward.
like more wrestling. Like I'm sure they'd have a good like no DQ match, but I kind of want to see them just like wrestle for a while.
Yeah. No, I'd be down. Like you said, it's tough with the 2 out of 3 falls, but the iron, even if it's a half an hour one, I'm again, companies, can we get some fucking time to get a dick? Like, let's bring back, like, I know the AEW did it, but like, I need some more hour Iron Man matches. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but like, I'm always down for one. You know, that's definitely not happening in WWE right now with some of these match times. But I would love to see, you know, the 30 just doesn't hit the same for me. You know, but sure, give it to them.
And
So.
I liked Mox and Osprey. I definitely enjoyed that, even
Mhm.
though there was some stuff I didn't like Osprey taking like the 3 like paradigm shifts and like kipping up and stuff like that.
Oh,
But I
did you
just
not like the hidden blade, that controversial spot? Is that the
Yeah.
one you
that
hated?
one didn't annoy me as much because I've
Okay,
seen
yeah.
a lot of people like do that spot. The one where he like took like 3 in a row of like Mox's, like, it's not the Death Rider as like his main finisher, but it's still like, and I forget, I can't remember if he did kick out at one. I don't think he did.
No, he didn't. He
Maybe I'm
didn't.
giving him the benefit
No.
of the doubt there, but he definitely like kicked
Yeah.
up right away.
I think they told the roster, like, hey, cut that shit out with the 1 kickouts. Now, you guys did, like, last pay per view, Tony was scrolling. He's like, oh my God, there's so many. Like, why are you all kicking out at one? Like, it was crazy, which I was happy about. It should not be that case. But,
But I thought that was a good match because
yeah.
I liked how it was more of like a Mox style match with Osprey in it.
Yeah, you're an Osprey hater. You hate the Tiger Driver lore. You hate the
Yeah.
Bryan Osprey match. You know, best match that year. But no, it was. I got to be there live. It was a very fun time. Crowd was. I was happy because some people are like, oh, some of these Canada crowds lately have been meh. Vancouver fucking brought it. I was very happy about that. It was a good time. People were just like hyped outside the arena when we took the train over. People were excited. Yeah, Jericho was fucking over that building, man. Like
Oh,
you
I
hear
did
on
see the
TV, but like.
Jericho match. I did like it. Like, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, and you know what? Kudos for him actually losing. Like I think that is the right way. If you're trying to, if they want to keep him as a babyface, that's the way to do it. Is then you make it that like, oh, I'm trying to, and I actually wouldn't mind. Let's say if he keeps doing singles matches, he keeps losing, like he can't win it without partners. I think there's a good story there. The crowd was super hot for the opener with the Bucks and Cal's family, which was actually very fun. And then yeah, well, I'll save Darby. That was great. Man. I know, I feel like the trajectory now of next pay-per-view, Edge and Christian are going to win. I think at All In, they're going to do the 3-way between Edge, Christian, not TLC, don't kill them, Edge and Christian, Bucks, and FTR. And then I think they're going to do Bucks and Christian, Edge and Christian. So I think they just delayed it. But man, I thought that was a sure thing. And I was fucking pissed. I could not believe when that 3 count hit. I was like, no, like I'm here. I'm ready to cheer for this. And you know, no, to me, they delivered. It's a more story heavy match, but I enjoyed it. I really liked the first or the last 2 minutes of just Edge in a handicap match fighting for his life. And it was great because then they just put him down. That's what they did. He kept fighting them off. They kept hitting him with moves, and eventually he just couldn't do it anymore. He lost, and man, that belt shot he took when you see the slow-mo replay of like he gets hit and then right away the blood starts gushing. Like he worked hard, man, for that old man. He put his time in. I felt so fucking good in the gauntlet match because when Kevin Knight came out, I told Dylan, like, oh, this is my boy. I'm like, this guy in a couple years, he's gonna be main eventing these things. Like I literally said, like, he's the future. Then he goes on to win. He's already getting promo time on television. Like Daniel Garcia never got any fucking promo time. You're like, they definitely see. Like, I legitimately think in 2 to 3 years he will be main eventing. Like, he could be main eventing it all in or something. I think they're gonna they look at him as like their project, like their Roman big dog sort of sense. And I think it's good because he can talk. He's got a good look. He can work.
Yeah.
He's charismatic. So, yeah, Tekla and Hayter were good. I want more. Moxley and Osprey was very fun. Loved the start of that match. The crowd was really worried about the time limit. I know they're probably allowed on TV, but they boomed like they better fucking not. Like everyone
They got
was
pretty close. I feel like they were. It was like
They got
like
last
1
5
or 2
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah. And then Kenny and MJF was good. It under delivered for me. Their collision match was definitely better. I said this in the Discord already, but I felt there was in the middle got a little bit long, and I felt there's 2 things. I felt MJF was kind of doing the shticky heel stuff, which I think is fine on weekly TV or in the promos, but I feel like in these bigger matches, and he has done it before, where he kind of knocks that off. Like, I think there's fun matches like the 4-way pillars when he's yelling. It's like, no, fuck, what? Like, that's fine. That's the time to do it. When it was like, oh, the God and Kenny's this, and he was being kind of like over the top. So that's one. And then 2, they did about 3 spots that was like, they would tease the move, they would hit the move, and then they tease the move again, and then they'd hit a counter. And it'd be like, it was like obviously one wing angel, but it was one in the corner. It was another one. Oh, it was one of the Tiger drivers. Oh, it was the You Can't Escape where Kenny did it, and then MDF did it, and then Kenny went to do it again, and then got countered. It was a lot of just like, it felt like it was at time 2 matches combined.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the thing for me is like the middle portion just kind of felt like repetitive. Like they would do something and then do it again. And then counter, and then they like double down, and then like another move, they do the other move to each other, counter, and then double down for a while.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, I was disappointed because I thought, even though I didn't think Kenny was going to win, I was hoping I would have been there live. I would have literally cried if I saw Kenny Omega win a title. But I was like, he's going to lose. But I thought, oh, we're going to get like a 4.5, or we're like, I'm like at like a 3.75, maybe a 4 from
like
generous.
a 4 star.
Yeah,
like watching at home, because I did think like I
Work
really liked the
ethic.
start. I really liked like the end stretch of it, but then a lot of the middle was just kind of like, it wasn't bad work like at all, but like I said, it was just kind of like, it was like I said, like, you know, like the Randy Orton versus Edge, like this has been a lot of the same for a while now.
Yeah. Big defender. I swear, one time, if we ever get time, I want to do a live watch along that match because I've not seen that match since then.
Ever like Gimmick retro has to be that.
Yeah, because I'm a defender of that. So, okay, I'm gonna have Dylan come on tomorrow because I told him and we misspoke. And he's like, "Oh, that's tomorrow, right?" And I'm like, "No." So he'll just go on just for like 5 minutes at the end, just talk about like his thoughts and their stuff because he did tell me his favorites, and I wasn't surprised, and then I was very surprised where he said, "Oh, I really like this guy." I was like, "Really?" It was like it wasn't like Blackheart Leo Rush, but it was like okay, that's surprising. So
is it like it's someone like a Roderick Strong or something like that?
No, I'm not saying.
I'm trying to think who's the most random guy on the show.
It's not that random. I'll still say it's a top guy. It's just like I was surprised Dylan enjoyed that top guy. I was like, oh, okay, that's surprising. Then there was one though. I was like, absolutely not at all. So, David, so where are you in the camp? Very controversial. MJF wins, right? We're like, okay, we've said we always thought he was going to win, going to go all in, face Will Ospreay when we assume wins the Owen, right? And then here I am on the train, and I'm just seeing S-Buzz being like, oh, Darby's winning on a Wednesday. I'm like, has this kid learned nothing? Like he's watching, like why he's buying, like because I didn't walk back. I didn't even know Wednesday yet. I thought it was Double or Nothing. I'm like, S-Bubs, that's a real hot take from S-Bubs. Like Darby's winning, right? And he's like, oh, I see it. Like everyone's tweeting about it. And then I look, I'm like, oh, all these scoopers. And I get it. I'm in the bubble. That was one of those situations where it's like, fuck, I wish some of you shut up a little bit because definitely like somebody let something out and like the floodgates just open. Like I think Wednesday.
I think MJF definitely texted like some people and it got out there.
Yeah, and at the same time, maybe they wanted that to pop a rating and to get more eyes on it, right? And that could be the thing because I do think with Mania Week that was the idea. But I was a little annoyed when they're like, I think something's happening Wednesday. It'd be different if like 2 months ago they think, hey, I think when they go to Seattle, Darby's gonna win. Then big, okay, that's a prediction. This was okay. Someone inside said like, hey. Guess what? It's like, just like, do you guys see the interview this week? Paul Heyman or Punk when he talked about Paul Heyman telling about the streak ending. He's like, "Oh, you should watch the Brock match." He's like, "I don't even watch WWE." Like, no, you should really watch the Brock match. Like, I'm just watching for my wife. He's like, "But you should watch Brock match." He's like, "Oh, okay, the streak's getting broken." So that's what this felt like of Scoopers being like, well, if you want shocking things on AEW, you're gonna want to watch when it's like, okay, so now we all know. But David,
like that, like the fakes, the fake scoop. It's like, guys, this year I think the AEW title scene it's gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, that happened like all the time. God, but David, where are you? Because this is a very controversial thing. Obviously, lots of discussion, popped interest. But MJF's on this run. He gets the loss, and it's a bunch of stuff, right? Not only does he lose the title he loses the title. I'd say that's one thing that people are either for or against. He lost it to Darby, which is either for or against, and then it was also in the fashion because it was in under 5 minutes. It was MJF tries to cheat. Darby cheats, hits him with the low blow. I guess they both hit low blow, but still, karma. He hits him a low blow. 5 coffin drops. Darby gets the win, new champ. Lots to pick apart. Where are you, David, on Darby getting the win on or this past Wednesday?
It was an interesting choice to do it on a random Wednesday. It's the third time that the world title has changed hands on a Wednesday. The first time being when Kenny Omega beat John Moxley at Winter's Coming. Then we had the Punk Moxley change
the
over.
Rocky one.
Yeah, and now
I don't fucking watch Rocky.
You have this, and I mean, for me, this was kind of telegraphed from the opening when Darby was doing his promo and he was damn near in tears. I'm like, he knows he's winning tonight. He's talking about the fight and the grit that he has. He knows he's winning tonight. The emotion that this man has. Talking about climbing the mountain, planting this flag, all he's done for them. I'm like, God, this is just it. And then to have the whole, all right, well, yes, it's not fair. We're going to give him but this is going to be the main event. I'm like, yep, it's locked in. So. Yeah.
I was gonna say they actually teased it like from the post-show press conference from AEW. Because someone asked, I think it was someone asked Darby or someone asked TK. I can't remember the specifics, but they were basically like, oh, yeah, like, I tried to tell, like, Max that the match is happening, but he just turned his phone off and left the arena.
Yeah.
So it was like, from there, it was kind of like, oh, so he's going to show up and not know, like, the match is happening.
And that was smart of them to do because that was my whole thing of, okay, once I was like, okay, Darby's winning Wednesday, just even days before, I was like, I wish they even gave it like a week build, right? But they tried to make up of press conference, the promo at the beginning, they had stuff, video packages in the middle, and then Sting. So they really gave you like a month build within 3 days. And I'm not saying that's great, but I'm saying they definitely like, oh, we got to just make this match have some heat.
Yeah, it definitely felt like an important match on like a couple days build.
Yeah, where I was just worried they're just like, yeah, MJF Darby, and they're just going to wrestle and Darby's going to beat him. So at least they did prop it up a little bit. So, but David, continue on.
That's pretty much my thoughts on like the ending of the match. Everyone coming out, the baby faces coming out to celebrate with him. Sting making his appearance. That was the other like, oh man, this is it. You got old man Stinger here. Like they're still in the deal.
I'm surprised he's in the paint too, because he said he was done wearing the paint. So
yeah,
TK
threw him another. Last time we're in the paint for like conventions and signings.
Oh,
so he never said for appearances.
Yeah, or TK would have paid him too. He's like, how much? Yeah, how much do I need to give you to put the paint back on? So.
Here's an extra $10,000 to put the paint on. So sure. Again, all these moments were kind of telegraphed with that. It's a good moment. It's a fun moment. It got the people talking. It's again one of those. We build our stars and all this other stuff, just that proof of there. It gives Tony Khan something to tweet out and talk about how, he's come all through it. I do think it is funny though. Like we had the match a couple of days ago. We had Kenny Omega and MJF. They released this whole special music for them, everything else. And then again, all right, here's another world title match and we're actually going to do something with this one. So,
and that's one thing too, kayfabe wise, it's like, because I know Tony was asked this recently of like, are you ever going to have like an authority figure, right? And it's so weird when the character, Brian stands up, he's like, TK says, no, you have to wrestle tonight. It's like, why is TK doing that?
Raj.
It's like there's sometimes where he's completely fine against heels. Like he'll just be middleman. Like you guys wrestle, figure out, like when Okada beat Kenny. And he's like, well, there was interference there, but because that wasn't for that title, but now it is, we're going to go back to the OG rules where we can't interfere. It's like, this is some weird malarkey, like heel bullshit of like, why are you like defending the heel? So it's like, okay. But then here it's like, you would make it feel that MJF and TK have hated each other for years. Like it's like the Drew McIntyre Adam Pearce thing, right? And he's like, "F you, you gotta defend it tonight." Where why does TK want it? Like why does he so badly want MJF if he just like killed himself a couple days ago to defend it? So that's where sometimes I go, you know what? And he's great on commentary, so it wouldn't be him. But if it's anybody, they should put Brian in that role. They should make him like a commissioner or something.
I feel like I could say. I mean, he literally did do it before, like on SmackDown. So
yeah, like, and maybe it's cheap to do it both, but like, I don't know, like, just say that's the best way. You could go to the I'm the commissioner, Brian, and I'm watching everything happen in ring. You know,
yeah, something like that, where it's like he makes the decisions, and then TK is like a higher up, where it's if he needs like a big thing, like I confirmed it with, like, he makes the decision, but I confirmed it with TK, and he says we can do this. Or something like that.
And to me, I know he's back there, but I would like that more if Brian's literally at the desk. I hate when they're like, "Hey, let's fight next week," and he's like, "I don't know," and then it's like 30 seconds later, TK, just confirm this, and the graphic comes up. You're like, I hate that, especially when the graphic comes up. That bugs me so much.
If someone's defending like a title and they like the second they count the pin, the graphic shows up. It's like
wrestler, title, city. It's like, come on now. And it's supposed to be like an impromptu, like a fake chant, like I'm challenging you out of nowhere, right? So David, did you agree with this decision overall? Is that a positive or negative? If you got to go in one camp or the other? Or is it somewhere in the middle?
It's somewhere in the middle. I'm still kind of 50-50 on it. I'm going to have to see what they do as a fallout of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if this is just they did it for a cheap pop, especially with it being WrestleMania week and all this other stuff, and then, a week later, 2 weeks later, they switch it back or he loses it, then I'm going to be absolutely disgusted with this.
Well, hey, maybe I'm gonna tinfoil a hat and say Darby winning. Maybe that's why Cody kept the belt. They're like, oh, it'll look really bad. Because I was saying to Johnny, I feel like that was part of the reason they gave it to Darby. Because if everyone was reading the room, it's okay. You're gonna have Randy Orton and Pat McAfee, WWE champion, and part-timer Roman Reigns is world champion. If you look at AEW, like, who's your champion? I'm so sick and fucking tired because I saw something clipped out about Eric Bischoff's rant. I'm so sick and tired of like, he weighs $105. Like, I get it. But it's just like it's a fake. It's superheroes.
It's like you need Darby on the juice for his title.
Yeah, it's like it's his and he's popular. Like, that's the thing. But it's just like, and I thought that was the way.
To me, in wrestling, like, for me, it's like anyone can beat anyone with the right story.
Yeah, and that's the
like
same
that.
thing.
That's the thing I was thinking. Like, especially, and I'll talk about more tomorrow. Like Brody Lee Jr. versus Joey Janela. It's like, I did see some comments of like, Joey losing to a 14-year-old kid. Like, it's like, just watch the match and like, watch the story, and the story tells you why he had to win that match.
And that's what just so, especially to me in the social media age, where I feel like you see so many videos or even stuff in UFC where the smaller person just kicks the shit out of the bigger person. And that's where it's like, this happens all the time in real life with training or whatnot. So I hate that complaint of like, oh, look how small he is. And like, some people make it sound like they're running with him to All In. It's like, everyone sees what this is. It was the hometown pop. It was to get some ratings. And I did think that's what I was saying, that I thought they did this to be like, well, look, our champion's a homegrown, like, we love AEW guy. So you guys don't like these champions. Look who we're rewarding over here, right? I think I'm like David, where I'm right down the middle, because I always thought Darby would get a Mick Foley run, which he's getting. I always thought he should beat MJF. I said that like 3 years ago because that just was a story they've been creating for a long time. I don't mind it for MJF being quick, because I think he's wrestling right now like 80s
for the character a lot.
Yeah, and he's wrestling like 80s Ric Flair, where Ric Flair could randomly wrestle for 60 minutes, but then could also like look like a losable champion that anyone can beat him, right? The reverse of it is, though, I don't love it for Darby. I feel like you finally did it. It feels like a fluke win. It just feels like he just cheated. Caught one. I would have liked if the same finish happened, but that was even like 10 to 15 minutes in. Like, let them go a little bit and make it seem like Darby really had to scratch and claw, where this just felt like he just got the better of Max because the ref was looking away and he got the drop. So I don't love for Darby. And also, it's like, I do think Darby should have won this, but he's not, like, unfortunately, it's his choice, but he fucking climbed Everest and he lost that momentum. And he's like semi got it back, but he's just been in this weird limbo. So it feels like we've all seen in multiple acts where somebody should win the title and they wait a little bit longer and they win it, and it's a pop, it's big, but it's not the moment, and that's where I think they kind of missed that, and that's why I thought a longer match would help to create that moment again. It was still a pop and a good moment, but it felt like it could have been bigger. And again, though, I also don't know when Darby could do this, because I think when Will gets it, barring injury, I think Will's going to go on a run. You could tell me Will's going to hold it for a year and I'd be like, yeah, I could believe that. So it's like maybe TK really wanted to do it last year and he didn't get to because of Darby. He's like, I really want to scratch this off the bucket list. And I feel like the reason I say this too, before I throw the S-Bubs, if people don't know this, when Hangman won his title, TK said, when I started this company, the first 4 champions I had in my mind were Jericho, Moxley, Kenny, and Hangman. He said that's how I scripted out, and it's gone that way, and then went to Punk, and then a lot of stuff happened. But he said those first 4 he planned from day one. I feel like if he had a second phase of those people, Darby was there, but shit just kept coming up. If Darby got hurt or he wants to climb Everest, so I just feel like he's like, I want to cross this off the list.
It was like always in the books, like to-do list, Darby world title.
Yeah,
run.
and it's that thing. It's like you see that coming up, and then you also see like TK has like penciled in Will Ospreay, Bruno Sammartino run, and it's like, well, he's never gonna win it off of Will. So I'm very 50-50. Have to see how it goes. I think it could have been done better, but I think it is smart to get some momentum, especially tonight when like most of the reaction for WrestleMania Night 1's bad. We'll see what Night 2 is, but that does happen. It's not in mass and it's not the general audience because most fans watch it, but there are people that go in the middle. Like, okay, I'm either gonna try this or try this again because that's what you got to do. And then you come back. That's what I did. After 2017, stopped watching. And when Cody came back, I watched for a little bit. The product got good, and I watched full time. And now I'm back to part time. But that's why I watched New Japan, because I had seen it before. But New Japan was just killing with all the stuff they were doing, and I got hooked, and that's got All Elite. So that's why
it always takes like I'll talk about it tomorrow. But like there was like 2 matches from 2 shows that were like, I want to watch more of this show, like from now on.
That's all it takes. And the good thing with this is too, it kept them in the conversation when usually WrestleMania takes that all away, right? Like AEW easy could
like,
just,
even if it had been like a good match of MJF versus whoever else and he didn't win the title, like people would have talked about it. Like even if it was like
move on.
5-star match of the year, like people would have talked about it, but then they just like, move on.
Randy punted Cody, and that's the thing. And that's what you got to do, where at least the Darby thing is a note. And man, I'm so and again, it makes no sense whatsoever. Why is Ciampa getting a title match? He's just beat Anthony Bowens and Leo. Yeah, like he should not. But from a Mark perspective, I cannot fucking wait to see Tommaso Ciampa and Darby Allin. I actually think that's going to be like, I feel like they could have like crazy chemistry. Watch, it's going to be like a 3.2 and I'm going to be super disappointed. But like, there's something about those two. It's like,
I feel like they could do some crazy stuff in there. And and especially like sort of relating to like how there was like kind of like so much talks of like, oh, Darby might be like, I could see him winning, where it's like, that kind of feels like someone said something. I'm feeling the same way about like, it'd be good if they did like a multi-man match at Double or Nothing. Like I feel like there's word out there, and I feel like it's gonna happen, especially with like so many. I feel like the road is gonna be. I could see Darby defending the title like every week up until like 100%. Double or Nothing.
Yes,
and then at Double or Nothing he fights like maybe all the people he already beat and some more people. And do you think MJF would be in that match and then win it back there?
It's tough because
I could see it being like, oh, Darby, like he fights off all these guys, and then Max just like gets out of nowhere and gets him and wins it back.
That, or what I can see is Darby wins and Max returns at the end of that pay-per-view, the same way they did when Punk won at All Out and MJF came back after he like quit. Because the thing is, if MJF's in that match, he's the babyface, and maybe you don't want him to get a babyface pop when he wins it. The return is fine, but if he wins it, it's like the Bret Hart Canada thing. Like he's always getting cheered there. So it just depends what they want to do. I think literally though, if he returns, they probably run the match back on the Diamond after Double or Nothing, and he just wins it. Like they do a rerun, but it's MJF. So it'll be interesting. The only thing I don't love, even though I love him getting boosted up, I don't love Kevin Knight already week 1 being like, or week 1 in his TNT run, and I know David hates this too, is like, I'm looking at that world title. It's like, dude, you just won the TNT. Like, it makes
simmer down, son, simmer down.
It makes the TNT title, when he says that to me, feel like nothing. It just feels like, oh, this is
did
cool.
the same thing with Fletcher too, right?
Yeah.
Where he like won it and right away
Went
was
for Hangman. And it's and Briscoe did it all the time as ROH champion. He was always trying to get another title. It makes, and I get that.
And
It's fine.
Too. I mean, he did get another title, but I mean, tag titles is different. I can
tag titles. To me, any combo title is fine. And I'm even fine if it's like, hey, like Athena, right? I've been champion for 8,000 years. I'm gonna go get another title. That's fine. But when it is like a month or a weekend, it's like, rock with your title for a bit and be like, I'm so good. No one's taking this off me. I'm gonna go collect another one. Not, hey, I who did Kevin Knight beat this week? Claudio, really good match. Right after he beats Claudio, I think I'm ready for that world title. I'm watching Darby and MJF very closely. It's like, no.
One thing from TNA that like companies should steal. I love like the option C, where like if you reach a certain amount of defenses or like certain amount of days, you can then like cash in
your title. Yeah.
Especially because TK multiple times has done the like, well, I've done it, and they leave the title in the fucking middle of the ring, and it's like, what? Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Like, and
then that would give TK, an excuse. Like, you can book a ladder match or a tournament for the vacant title. I feel like he would love the option C if he did it more, especially with like the Continental title and like the International title, like all these mid card titles. One of them should be like something like that. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious for Double or Nothing. Like, if that's like a big multi-man match and it's gonna be in a stadium. I think it'd be cool if they like had that, like if they didn't do like the like Anarchy in the Arena and they made this match like the multi-man, like the one that goes like all over the arena. I think that would be cool.
So my only addendum for that though, if they did that because it's a title match, I would want them to make it elimination because I think that'd be
false count anywhere elimination.
That'd
match,
be crazy
like,
if you're the champion and someone's getting pinned in the parking lot and you lost your title. You're like, how am I supposed to break that up? Elimination could be super fun because like, oh man, what would happen? You know?
But I feel like they're probably just gonna do United Empire versus Death Riders like Anarchy in the Arena match.
Yeah.
Even though they kind of did like a mini one on Dynamite, just like without the women, but I feel like Marina and I forgot her name again. I do like her a lot, but I just keep forgetting her name now. Like Osprey's wife in United Empire.
Windsor.
Yeah,
Alex.
Yeah. Who I think I don't think this is like maybe it's in the Discord. I don't think this is like a hot take. But I think they're definitely winning the tag titles at All In, right? Like they gotta be,
especially in the UK.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen. We're gonna see. I was just reading because I guess on the post show for WWE they mentioned that Randy walking to the back lost his balance due to his back, and they said they don't know when they're gonna see him again. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy if he punted Cody, but Cody's back on Friday and Randy's the one that's gone? It's like I get why you do the punt, but it's like I hope Cody's off for like 1 week. And then the other thing I'm seeing is just people calling Randy wearing a WrestleMania terrace. I'm just going through his like catalog right now. I'm just trying to see if that's.
I just see like the thing he did do with the back, like he did the move that like where he like does like the backbreaker like with his own back. Yeah. And that was a move that he had said like he had to stop doing it like literally because of like his back. Like it like that was one of the things that like messed up his back. So
which was a good touch I'll give him when he went to go do the RKO flip and he went no and then he turned around and he stopped. But it's interesting looking at some of these matches where it's just like there's nothing here that's like Seth, like, fuck, man. Some of these matches, Robert Roode versus Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal versus Rusev. Like, some of his catalog is like, and then you got the Edge and Randy one. You got Randy and the Fiend. You got Randy and Matt Riddle.
I think the people say, like, I think that Matt Riddle one is actually good because it's like, it's like Chad Gable and Otis and the Street
just having
Profits,
fun and RKO people. But you know what? I'll be a huge, obviously, I'm always defending the Edge and Randy one. But you know what it is? That low key, everyone at 21 talks about Angle and HBK. Undertaker and Randy is actually some good shit too. They delivered there. So anything else to say on AEW? Anything we haven't touched upon?
I can give a little rundown of the stuff I might talk about tomorrow. Just
hit us with a little preview. Yeah,
I guess I can count how many matches I've seen so far. I'll do that. So I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19, and I have a few more left to watch.
Nice. I'm excited because I know the two I'm watching. I'm for sure gonna watch the Brody and Joey one of them. For sure gonna watch Sam and the Invisible Man, and then the rest.
Same in the Invisible Man. My star rating is just question mark. I don't know what I'd rate that match because I was trying to think like, how would I rate this if I could see Invisible Man, like in
that's a
terms
good
of
one.
like an actual match. Because like for a while it is, but it is just a wild match. I mean, you saw like the ECW zombies are the first run in.
I haven't physically seen it yet. The only thing I saw is Mick Foley and the Invisible Man and the beer.
Mick Foley was moving good. Like he could have one more match.
I'm telling you that MGF All In 2027, that'll be hot. That'll be a hot angle. MGF, I don't know. Mick's moving good, and MJF in the last month or so has been like, yeah, we've been having some conversations. There's no, and especially Foley's not WWE, there's no way it hasn't happened. The only thing that pushes back, though, is I remember when Mick said he was training last time, he got a concussion, but he didn't know that he did a head scan, and the doctor said, you got a concussion. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah. And they're like, well, how did you get it? He's like, well, I was training, but I don't remember anything happening. So that's the only thing that said scared him from doing it again because he got a concussion and he had zero idea that he was concussed. So maybe they can do something little where MJF just has to bump his fucking ass off. But, give him 7 minutes. And again, it's a kayfabe. Max says he won't do death matches. He did a death match with Hangman last month. He'll roll in the thumbtacks for full if he needs to. So, no, I'm excited to hear your list so I can add to my list.
I definitely had a fun time watching these. Like, there are a few bad ones, or like some very wild ones, some very good matches, interesting stuff. I think I got a mix of all sorts of different stuff in here. Like, I'd say I definitely had a lot of fun watching the GCW. That was the only one I watched like live for the most part. The other ones I kind of caught up on later, but GCW, it's an interesting time. Just like that is like the epitome of the no rules. Like they had a ladder match where it was a ladders match. Like you didn't have to climb. It was just a pinfall to a win with a bunch of people in it with like ladders at ringside that they used, but you don't have to actually climb the ladder to win. And that match had, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people in it.
Jeez.
And the ropes break in that match, like the top rope breaks.
Oh, I saw that. I did see that. That was wild. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was planned, but I don't even know.
Okay. I thought then maybe that's not the one I saw. I saw someone like running the rope.
It was someone do like like the Osprey move where he like handsprings backwards, like he does that when he hits the rope. Yeah, he goes to the outside. Jeez, that was the ladder match. Yeah. It was the grab the brass ring ladder match.
I know Osprey was talking about it. I hope TK takes advantage with them in Saudi next year. All these indies that come and make it a thing. AEW should pick a stadium, try to sell as much as they can, and get these other wrestling companies to come around.
New Orleans,
that would be good. That'd be a fun stick it to. That would be good. But I'm sure Tony's like, it's gotta be in Jacksonville. But
they're remodeling the Jacksonville stadium. They're not gonna have it for like a year or something. No, I don't think anyone can use it.
Oh shit!
They moved the Jaguars to Orlando for like a year or something like that.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. So, we got WrestleMania Night 2 to talk about. We'll hear S-Bub Selects there. And then, if I can get Dylan on the horn, just to hear Dylan running to give his little mini AEW review. And then, we'll see what happens. See what stories break between now and whenever. It's going to be interesting. I can't, that's the thing. There's two types. There's the great wrestling where you're on a high. It's like, I can't wait for the next story. But then there's also sometimes mediocre or bad nights where it's like, well, that wasn't great, but what's the dirt that's going to come out from some of this stuff? And I'm just very excited.
I have a lot of fun with those when it's just something that that's just bad.
Yes.
Like nights I think one of my favorite nights in wrestling Twitter was after that Swerve boxing match. Yeah. Like the one that was Dynasty.
People were crashing out. It was Dynasty. Yeah.
That was people.
It's a great show up until that point.
AEW.
Yeah. So we will see. So we'll be back for night 2 immediately after, and we'll talk to you then. And